In the beginning, we were born. Then we grew. Everything we knew was new.
Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate?
See the world through different eyes. Realize it's all fairy tales and blue skies. Everyone is wearing a mask in disguise, covering up their issues with betrayals and lies. As we wish we could see through our childhood eyes. I ask you, I ask you,
are you gonna spread love or hate?
are you gonna spread that love?
Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate?
Everything we do and everything we're taught. I guess we all had bigger problems than the one we saw. The battles that were won and the fights that were fought. We never absorbed all the hate and distraught. Spread that love. So spread that love.
Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate?
Do we learn together and let each other in, or feed in temptation and ultimate sin? To learn what we didn't learn right from the start, because nowhere where was place in my heart for hate. As we wish you could see through our childhood eyes once again. I ask you, spread the
Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate?
love,
Are you gonna spread love or hate?
love.
Now. Hello, beloved poets. Welcome all to Open Minds, Open Mic, the place to be on a Friday night. And tonight we have a delight quite like no other. Tonight's special guest feature is going to be in the form of another beloved poet, a beloved member, host of the New York Poets Cafe's online open mic. Elemen2al is slated here. He's run just a tad bit late, but stay tuned. He is going to melt our souls and rebirth us with a set that's going to be at least a half hour. You're not going to get this anywhere else. So yeah, this is the spot to be. So that said, we're going to get this shindig started. On deck, we got Lantern Carrier. Let's step up to the plate, opening things up. Please give it up for Thomas Open Minds. Take it away.
All right, so I'm gonna share two pieces with y'all tonight. The first piece, just 'cause I miss my mom, I'm gonna read the mom poem I wrote, and then the second piece, Lantern and I are gonna do a collab that I just got back today and read, and I'm loving it. So yeah, let's just kick off this first piece real quick here. It's called "Ma, I Love You." I wanted to write a poem for someone special to show them how much they meant to me, but it seems to be nearly impossible to encapsulate 38 years of unconditional love. How do I thank her for the gift of life? All the time she held me tight, the chicken soup when I was sick, each time she gave me encouragement. How could I ever capture with words? I'd profess it through the songs of birds, beautiful soothing sounds from nature, the nurturing care, a poetic nomenclature. I asked the creators for the verbs to use. They responded, there's too many to choose. Pondering on how to show my gratitude, searching for my heart for emotions to include. Oceans of memories wash over my soul. Writing the perfect poem, my goal. But how? There's no language to use. I gave it my all, so I'll simply let loose. Just four magic words. Mom, I love you. All right, so this next piece is a collaboration with
Oh, thank you, Thomas.
this next piece is a collaboration with Lantern Carrier and I. Let me see if I can pin this up so we can be on the video together here. All right. Would you like to
Okay,
introduce the
my brother.
poem, my friend?
Ah,
Would you like to intro the poem?
okay. So this piece is called, I called it, Reflecting on the Grief of Shared Memories. Um, the collab was started by Thomas. I'm usually starting collab, so I was very happy that Thomas started it, and I basically wrote in response. I presume here that we're talking about the great illustrious Magus Gustav Salas, and yeah, that's it. So
All
when you're
right.
ready, Thomas, you just go right ahead.
In my journey through these years, I've danced with loss more times than I can count. Friends like stars have flickered and faded, each for their own reasons, leaving shadows behind.
But there's been good times too, when daybreaks were filled with the glimmering sun and the songbirds sung melodies of our friendship and eloquence, your words waltzing in the realm of insightfulness and possibilities.
Yet, even in the face of such darkness, I choose to walk in light. Grief, like rain, can nourish the soul, but too much can impede the seeds of tomorrow.
Yet, even in the light of your demise, I have still chosen to walk with the mystic sun. Grief nourishes my soul, knowing that the seeds of your self giving, your generosity of spirit will manifest love's grace as the fruit yielding trees of tomorrow.
If you were to slip beyond the veil, would you want me to be lost in a storm of sorrow? Nah, I believe you'd wish for something brighter. You'd want me to shed a single tear, a drop of purest crystal, catching all the hues of our shared days.
Knowing the joys of the beyond, would you wish me lost in the dark veil of sorrows? No, You would have me reach for the stars, even as the moon laughs at our table. And if I should shed a tear, let it be to remember your vibrancy, cheerfulness, and wit, blending into a kaleidoscope of our precious moments.
And then you would want me to smile, to laugh, to let your spirit soar on the wings of our memories. Each moment we've shared, a gem of radiant color to be cherished, like a garden of wildflowers in the heart's deepest soil.
I know that you liked fun and gaiety, to set our souls free on the wings of the condor, dauntless, braving the tsunami waves, burdensome memories, riding on the crest of new vistas, will merge in a pageantry of color, our time spent together, lending themselves to or blending with the aroma of jasmines and lavenders in a garden of love, in the most fertile of soils.
For though you are gone, your laughter, your love echoes on, like a song carried by the wind, and so I say, let grief be but a whisper, a gentle breeze. Celebrate the lives that have touched ours, for the virgin dawn awakes, even after the darkest nights, heralding the rays of sunlight.
And though you now float on the Elysian lap of paradise, your sense of justice, laughter, love still resonates in the ether and the citadel of the Sacred Heart, where the musical echoes mesmerize my core.
In our stored memories, we find not just the past, but a light that will guide us forward, a light that shines as brightly as the love we still hold dear.
Your bars are still carried in the breeze of my memories, and I pray that my grief be worthy of a short but powerful, wondrous life. And so I celebrate with the other lives that you have touched, even as the moon illumines my heart and constellations dance in the perennial heavens, depicting the innate beauty of your soul. So you
So
are
you
a
are a
pole
pole
star,
star,
or
our
guiding
guiding
light,
light,
having
having
blended
blended with the
with the
love
love of the Most
Most
High,
High,
reminding us
reminding
of
us of
integrity,
integrity,
of
of
the
the
things
things
worth
worth
cherishing,
cherishing,
of the
of the
oneness of
oneness of
creation,
creation,
and this
and this
mysterious
mysterious
dance
dance of light
of light called
called
love.
love.
This has been a collab by the most illustrious and exquisite Thomas Colvin and Monotita, the Lantern Carrier. Thank
We
you.
hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Everybody unmute and please give it up for Thomas Open Minds and Lantern Carrier for that collab. Woo!
Hey!
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That said, breaking news. Well, maybe not so breaking, but in case anybody missed the memo in the meeting chat, Elemental's in the house. He's in the building. So hell yeah, this is gonna be the most excellent adventure. Stay tuned. We're in for it. With that said, on deck we got Garland Thompson, and up next, if he's down to do more, please give it up for Lantern Carrier. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Oh, great. Really, is that I wasn't thinking I'd get a second piece, but I might as well. This morning, I did the piece at New York, and the theme is Timing is Everything, Pendulum Swings, given by the magnificent Elemen2al. The moving finger writes and having writ moves on. Now all your piety no wit can lure it back to cancel half a line. Now all your tears wash out a word of it. Oma Khayyam. She ticks unnoticed assuredly and unerringly like Zen in the sacrament of the present moment. She waits for none, whether she rides on tornadoes or a breeze of fine silk, weaving an elegant brocade of births, struggle, age, and deaths, a reawakening in the soul's region. Sometimes she's comforting, occasionally a despair of unfulfilled desires, yet, like a Libran pendulum, unlike the clock that carries her name, she's designed by a nameless silence and never fails. She's assured me by fate of the morning sunlight, the magnificence I seek in marigolds of spring. She projects the allure and charisma in the femininity of a golden summer, the cascading rose pink of autumnal reverence. Mostly her lustrous dawns bring renewal and hope, and I'm invigorated, sensing intuitively that hand gloves and warm clothing will help in a winter's hush. Even so, she can seemingly be too slow or too fast. Tick, tock, tick, tock. I try to catch my boss at selective moments, wait endlessly for Fridays, or make phone calls to important people, hoping my timing is great. Timing can be crucial for so many things. We may not want to call Simone Biles when, like snowflakes, she's dealing with her wintry moments. Neither do we dare to use that overdraft when our wages seem sparse. We seek vacations when warm sand and beaches call, or Panama is bustling with shopping, just as we make time to seek solitude when challenges spill images on our thoughts like nocturnal ghosts. Time waits for no one, is the old cliche, and some find it disconcerting in their 30s if the marriage and children are still dreams, if the glint in the hair fades, or grays beginning to appear on their shoulders. Timing is everything, but can we dictate this? Like Libra, astrology has its own pendulums, where both pleasure and pain swing with the vicissitudes of life. I was born again at love's hour, yet this happened when I was 30 years old, married with one child, and financially soaring to the skies. Planners, planners, says the seer. Love never plans. Grace may flow in our favor, but again can sometimes seem reluctant to do so. I am but a slave of destiny, which dances on my forehead, and even the very hairs on my head cannot fall without the will of the light in paradise. Nothing happens without the consent of natural laws. She'll die tomorrow, says the doctor, yet 2 years later, she's still alive. Lantern says, effort is necessary, but deeds are sown from within in seed form and will follow each thought to manifest the glories of our golden dreams without. Lantern Carrier. Thank you.
Damn right. Everybody on mute. And show some love for our brother, Lantern Carrier.
Bravo. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lantern Carrier in the house.
The light of lights.
Right.
There are so many lights that I've been witnessing, but you have to give thanks to Lantern Carrier because he actually literally carries the lantern to shine light of the brightest that I've ever known. Well,
thank you. Thank you. You're so kind. From such an illustrious soul, it's an honor. Thank you.
A quick shout out to CC Ashagra. It's been a while, brother. Welcome back to Open Minds. I got you on the list if you're willing to perform. So with that said, we're looking forward to hearing from you a little later on. This is such a treat. This is such a blessing to be in this room with all y'all tonight. Seriously. On deck, we got Ragged the Poet. But stepping up to the plate now, give it up, I believe, for the first time on Open Minds,
Is it, Garlish,
Garland
your first time here?
Thompson.
So we have a little tradition, Garlish. Your first time here, I would like to ask everyone to unmute themselves and give Garland Thompson a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to the show tonight. Thank you for being
All
here.
right, welcome,
Yeah.
Garland.
Yeah. Welcome here.
It's great to see you here, Garland. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's great to be here. I couldn't stay away with Elemental featuring, and I figured a bunch of y'all would show up, so I thought, let me jump in too. So glad to be here and glad to see everybody. And Zamkanto, we missed you last night, so glad to see you here today. I was looking forward to you on the list, and I was like, oh, I missed him, but he's here, so he's great. So thank you, everyone. I don't believe I've read this at the New York before, but it's getting a little hard to remember. So if you have heard this, I do apologize, but I hope you all enjoy this little, speaking of time, another little trip in time called Jump. The place and time, East 86th Street, New York City, 1977. Teenage boy, me. Adult male, dad. It's a movie theater we're standing in front of, in an opening day line that snakes up and around the block. Looking back at all the wild-looking counterculture people standing in it just like us, Dad jokes as we inch forward. Man, I should have brought a bunch of joints to sell. I would have cleaned up. Having watched my dad and his friends smoke the evil weed for years at this point, his joke hit home, and we both laugh. Jump. We're inside the theater now. Huge movie screen looming up ahead. We sit house left halfway to the front of the theater. I'm sitting on the aisle. Dad next to me on the left. The place is packed and there's an electric buzz in the air. It's ripe with anticipation. Last buckets of popcorn are bought and buttered. Last Snickers bars and last boxes of Junior Mints are quickly bought. Last bathroom breaks are taken. Zoom, zoom, and the crowd chats excitedly as we all wait for the show to start. Jump. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away from here, slides up into view, setting the stage. The soon-to-be familiar horns playing the soon-to-be-loved theme music picks us all up, cradling us gently as the soon-to-be iconic storyline is laid out before us against a backdrop of stars upon the silver screen. Suddenly, violent violins, angry timpani drums, and the high-pitched whine of something trying to get away are coming from everywhere, all at once, it seems. I hear the explosive sound of laser fire, thanks to the specially designed THX sound system with the big bass speakers running through the theater. I feel the rumble in my chest along with everyone else there that cinematically fateful day. The rumble rumbles on, the tiny rebel ship on the run comes into view, and we all sit transfixed. Jump. Out of the corner of my right eye, sliding into my right periphery, is where I first saw it. In what seemed like a moment moving in suspended animation, it comes floating forward into frame, accompanied by that low rumble that I now know are the cruiser's huge star-spanning engines. It's in hot pursuit of a tiny rebel ship. It's firing on it. The rebel ship is firing back, and even though I am in a movie theater watching two-dimensional images on a flat screen, I could have sworn I was really sitting in a tiny ramshackle spaceship looking up to see our doom looming in full view above me. In the blink of an eye, George Lucas and his master craftsman had recast me as a rebel on the run with the Alliance, and there, lumbering above our band of ragtag heads, was that giant, bulked-up, triangular-shaped battle cruiser. The evil Galactic Empire was trying to reach down with Darth Vader's black-gloved hand to grip our collective throat. Fear rattled my bones, awe overtook my mind, and all I could do was sit there, frozen, white-knuckling my armrests as it passed overhead. This is a pop culture moment I will never forget. Jump. Thank you.
That was awesome. Everybody unmute and give it up for Garland Thompson at this time.
You have like
Woohoo.
you have an indomitable way of telling stories. Like your your idea of what storytelling is goes in so many several directions that it's just such a joy to listen to and also to witness as you read. So that's amazing. Thank you so much. One love.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Garland, you scooped me up and took me along for the ride with you. And I get immersed in movies like that too when you're like in this ramshackle, small, tiny spaceship. Like I was right there with you, you know, making sure that the engines were running and that we were. Yeah, thank you for that piece, man. Do you have another one for us?
Sure. Actually, yeah, I do. I was only expecting to do the one, but yeah, sure. Let me just grab something here real quick. Um,
Wait. It's your birthday?
oh, yeah, yeah. I didn't type. Yes, it is my birthday.
Hold on now.
Since
Before
I
you read the second
my
piece, not only are we gonna welcome you, everybody, could we just please unmute and wish Garland a happy birthday?
Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday, darling.
Blessed
Happy birthday to you.
birthday. Blessed birthday. Keep writing more verses always.
Yeah,
Blessed
man.
birthday
Don't
to
stop.
you.
Thank
Many
you.
more blessed years, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. That was my old lady who typed that in. I would never have
I
said
seen her
something,
over the
but thank
shoulder
you.
too.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, brother. Welcome to Open Minds, man. We
Thank you,
appreciate you being here.
everyone. Thank you, everyone. And this is great. It's really wonderful to be here with everybody. It's just really, really, really awesome. So thank you very much. God, quickly. Okay. I almost did this one last night, but I'll do this. I'll do this one today. This is called The Suicide Bomber of. I want to be the suicide bomber of love. Detonating myself in crowded cities for everyone, everywhere to see. I want people to feel the power of love in the morning, love in the afternoon, love in the evening, and bring down a monsoon of joy on a street corner named Desire where the pavement sweats thick leather soles from its concrete pores. And I want to leave a videotaped message explaining my devotion to love with the velvet sounds of Aphrodite's voice wrapped around my head like a jihad scarf, my eyes staring at the love poem in my hand, then back at the camera as I calmly state my opposition to hate. I lay in my bed at night and dream of people turning on the news to see my face and wonder who this insane suicide bomber of love is, as the media dissects my meager middle-class life to the nth degree in a nonsensical mass of talking heads and pumpkin-faced experts with nothing new to add to the story. And in my dream, there are stunned but happy crowds, standing around stupefied, dazed with joy, confused by their lack of guilt. Police investigators arrive on the scene, snap their rubber gloves on to sift through the pile of anger I had blown sky high, and scratch their heads in wonder at such a monumental destruction of pain. Ambulances arrive to carry away laughing people who shout out, "Free at last!" TV crews from around the world descend upon the scene like a herd of magpies on a fresh-grown Kansas cornfield. They turn on their mobile transmitters and start to beam the pictures up via satellite. ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CBC, Japan TV, BET, China State TV, CNN, the BBC, Abu Dhabi TV, Russian TV, Fox News, Al Jazeera, Al Arabiya, the new Saudi Disney Channel Plus, NPR, Rachel Maddow, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson all offer their unique points of view and propaganda as reporters report live at the scene. Anderson Cooper speculating in the studio to the American audience on my possible motives as they run the clip of my videotaped confession over and over and over and over again. The sounds of Nina Simone floating in the background while I read out my love manifesto as my last will and testament to a world I could no longer stand by in. And at the end of my video, I raise my fist high and calmly state, I am the suicide bomber of love. Long live the goddess from whom we come. Long live love. I am the suicide bomber of love. Long live the goddess. Mother Earth, mother of us all. Long live love. Thank you.
That's how you do a birthday. That's how you do a birthday.
Long live Garland. Everybody give it up for Garland Thompson at this time.
Yeah, long live love, long live Garland. Happy birthday. Thank you for sharing that piece
Oh
with us,
man,
brother.
like
Happy
you
birthday.
just put
Perfect ending.
everybody's birthday, like you revved it up in your own recitation. I mean, like your delivery, your sensitivity to pace, your sensitivity to cadence, all of that is just wrapped up in this beautiful gift that is you on your birthday today. One love to you.
Thank you, Zomkanto. Thank you, everyone.
And you wear glasses. And you wear glasses. We're coming back in style. 2024, y'all. We're coming back in style.
You people that wear glasses, we know you're coming in with them alien spaceships.
I had to be dragged kicking and screaming to it, so I'm with you, CP, now. But I don't know how happy I am about it, but I am with you.
Garland, you are such a weaver. That first piece, you really, really worked that in the fine detail, and it was wonderful story woven in a very traditional kind of method. I really enjoyed that. And the second piece, that's how I want to blow up all the time. That's was really cool. Thanks so much for coming here, and don't turn up here on your next birthday only. We want to see you before then.
That's a fact. That'll happen for sure. Thank you. I will definitely take you up on that offer. Thank you
please. Please do. The few times I have heard you, you've been an absolute delight, and I feel like more of us could use some of that richness coming from you. So thank you again, Garland, for doing what you do and bringing it here to Open Minds.
Thank you, Dre, and thank you, Open Minds, for doing this. This is wonderful. I will definitely be back.
We'll be excited to have you again. Before we continue on, I just want to confirm real quick with Paul. Would you like to perform after Elemen2al's feature?
Yeah, I'll absorb that shock.
All right. And also, I just want to double check with CP. How are you feeling at the moment?
If it's in the same spot it is now, I'll be able to do it before I disappear and do my homework.
Okay. All right. Cool beans. With that said, we got two more poets before we get to the feature. On deck, we got Sophia Monet, but stepping up to the plate, please give it up for Ragged the Poet. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Hey!
Hello, everybody. Good to be here. Like I said, this is my first Zoom open mic, so this is going to be interesting. I apologize. The heavens have decided to open up on me. right now it's a little quiet, but the rain was hitting pretty hard a second ago.
Right. Hey, but before you even share any poetry, I know I got to hear yesterday, but there's a little tradition we here have an open mind. If everybody could just unmute yourselves for me, give a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to Ragged the Poet.
Ragged!
Welcome, Ragged.
Welcome!
Super fun.
In the house.
Welcome.
Ragged in the house.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
I
it.
like the range, so you're in the perfect place.
Yeah. Well, it was about to drown me out earlier, but so the first piece I'm going to do, I actually only have the second page of it, so hopefully I remember the first page. This is called Diagnosis Prognosis. I was once a warrior king. I hammered the mountains and set fields aflame. I channeled the fury of the gods upon staggering foes. I would die, I thought, like a nuclear bomb. A rumble through the eon crust would tear through the valleys and towns, and the sun's mighty rays would waver in awe and fear at my defiant mortal gasp. Even now, as strength fails, eyes struggle to focus, thoughts coalesce through the pharmacy fog, and the hands that once squeezed triggers like a frost-stilled night now meekly triumph as the pill cap finally opens. Bullets and bombs never found me, but diagnosis is the enemy now, and she's an ice-eyed bitch. So today we gather with gray souls in dusty halls. We war-afflicted few roar our stories at the wall, revel in our glories and drink past the sorrow of all we have lost. We are the remnants of a great and terrible host, destroyers of nations and kings, bringers of lightning war who carried fury in our arms. Now the young and strong have taken our place and left us to count the cost of the dreadnought hours that burnt graves unto our hearts. I limp now with this shadow band. Our rifles exchanged for pill bottles and colostomy bags, the weight of diagnosis full now upon us. Still, we yet yearn to be united by purpose. We look to the sea with light in our eyes and dream of skies beyond the last horizon, where, fiery and clear, our brethren call us from the barricades, to gather what strength remains, and reclaim our place in gleaming ranks embarked on fleet swift and sure, eyes fixed on the western sky, bearings set for the cosmos. Peace.
Ragged, that was amazing. Do you have a second piece for us?
Yeah, we get a little more positive in the second piece. This is the one I did for you the other day. It's called Resistance. Starlight sister, take your aim. Sing of forebears name by name. Revere the past, but live today. Move your hips like Salome under midnight lamps that bathe your boogie in holy light and dance like fires that flicker in secret victories. Claim the moment's hunger. Top down, throttle hum, naked to the night as we watch the cities fall. No more the vigil. Now comes the cruel charade when beauty fades, but wisdom comes to call. For you are a tempest, born like the moon, circling restless in cycles of magnetic blood and pure apprehension of mind, a vision of voices that wounds cannot bind and omens that leaves cannot trace. You hold me in a different space. You hold me in a cave of bone behind your eyes. You keep me locked and far away from the business of the sea where the tide sex the beach with purpose and energy. You hold me apart from the bell tower and the chapel of your fears, for I do not kneel to the nightmare parade, nor do I yield to the tyrant's campaign of ruin. But I do conspire with you. I lock into your view. I take an oath to a nation of two where we nurture rebellion and spite the possessors of chains. We or resistors in the infinite war. For they are the crazy, and we are the sane. They are the colonizers, we are the planes. They erect Auschwitz and shackle our souls to the trains. So we stake our claim with karmic flame to write upon the stars our name. I pledge allegiance to your grace. You hold me in a different place. Peace.
Everybody, please unmute and show all the love you got for Ragged the Poet. Yeah.
Nice work.
Love it.
Nice work.
Love that,
Love it.
Ragged.
I pledge allegiance to the
Love
grace.
your
That's
voice.
gorgeous.
From
I
the
love your
car.
voice. I love your voice. Like it has this
Almost like
raspy.
hypnotizing.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
that. Yeah, that.
raspy, hypnotic essence to it. That was beautiful. One love for sure.
It's grounding. You have a very
Yeah.
grounding
Grounding
delivery.
is the word. Yes, yes, yes.
I
Thank you,
appreciate
Hey,
it.
Ragged, for
Ragged,
showing up tonight, buddy.
Ragged,
Yeah.
you're a Marine Corps vet, right?
I am, yes.
Today I have to go to the VA hospital and I have to sit in the pharmacy. So that first poem, wow. The timing, wow. Like I
Yeah.
could see and feel everything. So kudos, man, for speaking that truth. Thanks.
I spent 2 hours on the phone on hold with the VA today.
We know the
And
story.
my last
Do you
visit
know-
3 weeks ago, I waited 4 hours to get to see the doctor. So
Yeah.
I know what
Do you
I know what
guys
you mean.
know each other? CP, Ragged, you know each other?
Met
This is
today.
it? Today.
No, but we're Marines. We
You
probably
will.
know somebody that's the same people.
Yeah, I think you. Well, I mean, beyond knowing each other, I think you guys are going to resonate because CP has taken the role of vet and the responsibility of poetry, and I think he blew the entire art form out of the water. You guys are going to love each other.
Appreciate
It's
that.
going to be good. It's good. It's good. You guys are going to inspire each other. I feel it.
Yeah.
I
Love your
feel
work,
it
man.
too.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Claim-
I'm looking forward to hearing you.
Look forward to hearing more from you, Ragged, down the line. Seriously, keep bringing that stuff here, and on this show and the other shows that we have, under the Open Minds umbrella. Check us out on Open Minds Open Mic on Instagram for all details. But seriously, one more time, give it up for Ragged. Thank you.
Ragged!
Yes,
Welcome,
sir.
brother. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us, man.
All right. Are you feeling heat, y'all? Because Elemental's on deck. That's going to be a hell of a feature. But stepping up to the plate now, please give it up for Sophia Monet. Take it away when you're ready.
Hold on, Sophia. May I just pause you for one moment before you share this lovely poetry that I'm sure you're going to share with us? We have a tradition here. You've seen it now. We've had 3 new people here tonight. So you guys know the routine. If you all can just unmute yourselves, give a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to Sophia Monet.
Welcome, Sophia.
Sophia in the house.
Monet in the house.
Let me borrow $5.
Welcome.
Monet
So
changes everything.
So you've made it from the Lower East Side all the way to Canada today.
Wow. Thank y'all so much.
You can wake up in the morning and be in India if you want.
I was kind of torn on which piece to do, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. So, why is this the way you treat me? Your words like iron fists, they beat me. Blackening my eyes, crushing my nose. I can't breathe. You've got this chokehold on me. My windpipe, it's too tight. See, I never meant to pick a fight with you. I was actually starting to fall into like with you, but now I'd rather not spend another night with you. Because lately, as soon as I fall asleep, you take your knife and you pierce me through. Ooh, you fight dirty. Please, tell me, why are you out to hurt me? What have I done to you? What did I put you through that I now deserve this type of abuse? Abuse. Abuse isn't just cutting a wrist, isn't just popping a pill while taking a sip. Abuse can come from your very own lips. How do I know? I have a 3rd-degree belt in Taekwondo, and I oftentimes aim at my very own throat. I've been known to bite my own ear. See, when it comes to myself, I never play fair. Why? Who knows how to sucker punch me better than I? That's right. Every night I pick a fight. What you gonna do? Leave? Like, you know you love me. You know you love me. Yes, I slap you around because you deserve it. I slap you around because I get so sick and tired of you being so imperfect. Imperfection. Imperfection. Every time I look in the direction of your reflection, you make me cringe. That's why you get these hands. You think by now you'd understand. That's just how I love you. What? You don't think I love you? Just because I place everyone else above you and from time to time I quit taking care of you? That don't mean I don't love you, right? No. Love doesn't keep throwing bows, hitting below the belt, leaving me bleeding, screaming for help. I can't even see straight. Tried to read my Bible, but I can't even meditate. Why are you doing this to me? You're crippling me. I can't even pray because you told me I didn't deserve to today. Wait. Wait. I see you balling your fist. Please don't hit. Just hear me out. I didn't ask to be born this way. Take that up with Satan, Eva, Adam. It wasn't me. I didn't bite from the tree, so stop hitting me. Can we just be friends? I'm imperfect. I understand. But if you don't stop, you might just take it too far. You might hit me too hard. And I won't be back. I'll be gone. Is that what you want? You want to kill me? You want to kill us? No, I didn't think so. So, show some mercy. Tonight, please, don't hurt me. Peace.
Oh my God. That was. Hold up. Let's just take a moment to just absorb that. Now, please give it up for Sophia Monet.
Sophia, what? Please come back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Please spit another piece too.
Bravo.
We want more.
Do
Like
you know
the
how many
intensity of
casting
your
directors
performance
are
there
waiting for
was
you to walk
insane.
into the room?
Oh,
Yeah,
You
that
got
was-
some theater chops. You got
Yeah,
some
when
serious
you
theater
wield
chops.
the power of the word like that, you have to do so with a moral authority that is flawless.
Yeah.
And that's why we hear you so acutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
And,
a lot of people in theater and poetry and in performance, they have to take any role they can get before they could pick one. But I think you should start out by picking your roles and then going for them. Like, August Wilson, I think, is waiting for you.
thank you so much.
And did you
You
have
got-
a
you got
second piece
chops.
for us tonight?
Yeah, I'll go in a different direction with this one.
Thank you.
It's called A Serenade. Vines confine my mind to this abyss. Under trees I sit, feeling less equipped than yesterday. So close yet so far away. From solutions, this confusion entangles me, endangers me. I am an endangered species. I am woman. The smell of dew beneath the creases of my feet, as bare as my heart. The weight tears me apart. There is no canopy protecting me from the rain, from the pain, so I run. Each step, wet, jet, black, grit, sits in between my toes, sliced by the knife of 100-year-old stone, jaded, tattered, and bruised. I take rest near the nest of a mother bird whose voice I heard from afar, from afar, from afar. I'll spend the night laid in the shade of her serenade, a song I can relate to. Peace.
Damn right. Everybody, fuck yeah. Give it up for Sophia Monet one more time.
Thank you.
Sophia showed up last night.
Bravo,
Wow.
Sophia. Woo.
I love that.
On Sophia.
Yeah, I saw her for
Thank you
Love
so
that
much.
piece.
That was great.
It's funny how like we
Welcome home.
we
From
take
afar.
we take little notice of the sounds that we hear in the morning. You don't even know, maybe it's a mother bird trying to do their very best to take care of their little ones. You don't even know if it's if it's some kind of worm, crawling into the soil trying to find a sustenance for its kin, because everybody has got its kin, whether it's humans or otherwise, so
Yes.
so much for sharing
Thank you for getting it. You got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what took you so long to find your way to these places. We've been waiting for you.
Have you been studying? Like, are you like theater?
No.
You got a gift.
Thank you.
You're a screenwriter, you're a poet, you're a performer, you're an actor, you have a natural talent. You don't ever try to be better than what you already are. You might ruin it. you have a gift. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, I'm serious. If I was a casting director and you walked in the room, I'd tell everybody in the hall to go home. You would nail it. You would nail it. It's powerful to have that kind of connection to your own soul and to be able to deliver the word and then the soul inside the word and mean it. Man.
I'm just grateful that y'all listened. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm just grateful that you found it here.
Family. There's a family here.
Legit. Welcome home. And we're just looking forward to hearing from you down the road. Seriously. One more time, give it up. That's just so. I'm happy to be here. And also,
Wonderful.
Welcome
I
home.
am.
That's all I gotta say. Welcome home. I'm so glad that you found your way into this space, and yeah, what an entrance. Thank you for being here. We all love and appreciate you.
All right. We've been building up this energy. We've been off to an awesome start so far tonight. And with that said, we're going to be
fire.
handing.
We've had water. We've had air. We've had some earth. What
Okay,
happens
talk.
when all those combined? Dre, let them know what's coming up next.
Well, it would be great if I could do my spiel. Anyway, what I was gonna say is that coming up next, our special guest feature. You may know him by several names. You may know him as Storm God. You may know him as the host of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe online open mic. You may know him as an educator, slam poet, just a phenomenal all around performance artist. And we are so blessed to be able to have him come here and just spill his guts out for y'all here. With that said, stepping up to the plate next. Oh, yeah. This cat's flying off the top rope with style and profile. Woo! We're talking about the one and only show stealing, wheeling, dealing son of a gun, the one and only Elemen2al. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
If Cat didn't do his best Mean Gene Okerlund damn impression right there, right? Like this dude is Jerry the King Lawler, like for real, man. Like he is the Royal Rumble of announcers. He is a Hell in a Cell plus a TLC match wrapped in a damn it. Did it? Was that the bell? Was that the? It doesn't matter what you heard because that cat's dope all the time. I'm telling you. Listen, to every single artist who came to rock this evening, who ripped before me and after, I really can't thank you enough for getting down this evening. Shout out Open Minds, Open Mic. What's good, Thomas? What's good, Catalyst? To every single artist in this room, y'all are absolutely amazing. The glasses will make sense in a second. Uh man, it's great to be around family, right? I get a chance to rock with y'all on a regular basis. Never on this side. Shout out Mary Ann Teff. Never on this side, right? Never on this side. It's always on the other side. So it is really cool to really enjoy y'all. And just be a loud, belligerent fan of poetry. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't always get a chance to do that anymore, you know? But I really do love our craft. I really do love what we do. There's so many ideas that I had for what I wanted to do this evening. And I'm still calculating, right? So this is real time. So as we're going through this, I am going to pay homage to our friend the Magus. I'm going to do a cover this evening, and I'm going to do a poem that his words inspired. But I also wanted to make sure that I just highlighted a couple things, right? I know that y'all get a chance to hear me rip in this a host as a host most of the time, you know. But I really am like a poetry nerd. Like I really do love what we do. And I wanted to show love to a couple of things that have inspired me. This was handed to me by the one and only Jedi Master in the Lower East Side of New York. This is a phenomenal piece of auditory poetry right here. And you see what I'm holding, folks. This is a compact disc. This isn't a stream, okay? This is you know what I'm saying? This is a physical piece of history, man. But this has also influenced me, man. This guy right here helped to create the craziness, some of the craziness that you're gonna hear this evening. These cats. I actually got a chance to be in a room with one of these cats a few times. And it's beyond ethereal to rock with some of the legends that inspire me, right? You're gonna hear more of that this evening. This guy too, he's not in the building this evening. But Baba Ngoma, peace to the gods and the earth. He really does inspire me in a lot of different ways, man. And to bring it all the way into our contemporary level, shout out Storm Gods in the building. This one right here. The storm goddess is just one of those, you know. If you're unfamiliar with Ray Jane, with Thunderlung, she will definitely inspire you in a lot of different ways. Like she's really, really ridiculous. So with that being said, you're gonna hear some of those things, right? Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Jedi Master. He put the link to where you can get this. I always start my feature sets this way. So let's get to it. I'm gonna put myself on a timer because 30 minutes and I'm out of y'all. I'm out of y'all's way for real. For real. I'm so serious about that. All right. I am the dark side in anything good and everything bad with your perfect little fallacy. A villainous conjurer of righteous thoughts, I was born. Wrapped in this war paint I use to graffiti the American construct with a mutant matrix Morpheus mind frame atmosphere rearranger descendant of Garvey Newton Carmichael X Black splash their backlash with mad color. This bad brother is a protest standing still. I am the red pill conductor of this conscious railroad underground speak for my people who were lost and never found. Sojourner this truth, make it Hubbard Emmett till they hear it clear. Say it loud, say it loud, say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. I, Elemental. They say I'm militant. A madman in this mad world, a good kid, mad city. I'm so tired of my pain being seen as anger. You have no idea. Most days, I feel more Target than Sniper, more Malcolm than Martin. My nightmares are the devil's dreams. So these days, I pray harder than I do anything else. My eyes burn from the years I spent crying, so much so it was my calling card. The crybabies here, tormented and misunderstood by so-called family members. Most of my childhood was spent in the safest places I knew, outside and alone. So I've traversed these decades in shadow. Lately, my kindness is seen as blindness. I wish I spent more time with my father, soaking up his savagery, semper fi. Instead, I learned subtlety from my mother, smiling at me. With joyous fear and open arms, I tried to drown my doubt and weakness into the well of her metaphors. Born addicted to dysfunction and had my cold heart frozen again and again by the frigid kiss of divorce. I was only 5 when I first met pain, and I'll never forget that day. It fixed its mangled jaw and deceptive tongue to speak these simple words: we're not going. Whatever strength I had retreated that day, and I was left holding an imaginary hope that suffocated me in sorrow. As I stand before you, disconnected from my own generation, still the outcast, pronounced outcast, operating under the crooked American system too long. So I'll be the militant, the subtle soldier fighting for righteousness if that makes you more comfortable. So go ahead, point your fingers, whisper your ridicule, say goodnight to the bad guy. So, last piece with the specs. But this is for the jazz cats. So this is in honor of our illustrious brother Gustav Salas. This is a poem that sets the tone for me. This is the cover, folks. This is a poem that sets the tone for me. You will hear a lot of my influence here because he is one of my biggest influences. This is, as he said in his own words, an excerpt from a poem called "Why Is We Americans" by the late great Amiri Baraka. This is "Why Is We Americans." And this is spawned because Garland Thompson came through and did some things recently. CC does his thing, right? So this is for the Jazz Cats, man. Bootita, 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 bootita. Bab, 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 boo, boo, boo. What I want is me, for real. I want me and myself and what that is and what I be and what I see and feel and who is me and the what it is and who it is and when it is me and what it be. I'm going to be here if I want, like I said, self-determination. But I ain't come from a foolish tribe. We wants the mule, the land. You can make it 300 years of blue chip stock in the entire operation. We want to be paid. In a central bank, the average worker wage, the average worker farmer wage for all those years we gave it free. Plus, we want damages for all the killings and the fraud, the lynchings, the missing justice, the lies and frame-ups, the unwarranted jailings, the tar and featherings, the character and race assassinations, historical slander, ugly caricatures. For every Sambo step and fetch it flick, we want to be paid. For every hurtful thing you did or said. For all the land you took. For all the rapes, all the Rosewoods and Black Wall Streets you destroyed. For all the miseducation, job loss, segregated shacks we lived in. The disease that ate and killed us. For all the mad police that drilled us. For all the music and dances you stole. The styles, the language, the hip clothes you cop. The careers you stopped. All these are suits, specific litigation as represent we be like we. We be like we for reparations, for damages paid to the African American nation. Bootita, bootita, bootita. We want education for all of us and anyone else in the Black Belt hurt by slavery, for all the native peoples, even them poor white people. You show all the time as funny. All them Abners and Daisy Mays, them Beverly Hillbillies who never got to know Beverly Hills, who never got to Harvard on their grandfather's wills. We want reparations for them. Right on. For the Mexicans whose land you stole. For all of North Mexico. You call it Texas, Arizona, California, New Mexico, Colorado, all that. Burita, burita, burita. All that. You got to give it up. Autonomy and reparations to the Chicanos and the Native Americans whose souls you ripped out with their land. Give self-determination. Regional autonomy. That's what we asking. And they gonna do the same when they demand it, like us again. They who exploited name, yeah, the education, that's right, 200 years, we want a central stash, a central bank with democratically elected trustees and a board elected by us all to map out from the referendum we set up what we want to spend it on, to build that Malcolm sense, self-determination as self-reliance and self-respect and self-defense, the will of what the good Dr. Du Bois beat on, true self-consciousness, simply the psychology of freedom. Bootita, 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 bab, 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 bootita, bootita, boo, boo, boo. Then we can talk about being American. Then we can listen. Then we can listen without the undercurrent of desire to first set your ass on fire. We will only talk of voluntary unity, of autonomy, as vective arms of self-determination. If there is democracy in you, that is where it will be shown. This is the only way we as Americans. This is the only truth that can be told. Otherwise, there is no future between us but war. And we is rather lovers and singers and dancers and poets and drummers and actors and runners and elegant heartbeats of the sun's flame. But we is also to the end of our silence and sit down. We is at the end of begin, being under your ignorant smell of intentional hell. Either give us your lives or plan to forfeit your own. Peace out. Like there's so much, so much to that. Like there's so much to that. That dude just does something to my soul, man, when I hear his work, really. And so, for real, like it's a whole fucking power up, right? I'm an anime head. For those of you who are familiar with anime, I am watching MHA again, watching it all the way through the end because they just recently updated the end. So shout out the daughter of Krypton, Finn Bell. This was one of the themes to her open mic, and I just felt that it was fitting that I respond to that. Again, shout out to Megas. But this is my response to that piece that I just read. This is my letter to Amiri. I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if I get lost in fields of flames planted on black belt estates under blistering mercilessness with a lethal dose of violence to make the boiled bacon go down easier. I heard you asking universal forbidden questions, treasure box locks overboard with souls who refuse to live lives not designed for them. Middle passage of indoctrination laden transcripts of pirate ships from pirate lips for every injustice absent from curriculum, textbook taboo, new school fools traded chains for names like Yale and Harvard, forefather Ivy League translucent, you used it. Made bombs from longing for equality, sit in, shut down, unmasked clowns on Capitol Hill, Kenny Roger Gabler stance, know when to fold them, been holding all the twisted cards far too long, survived the turn, cross river of heroes, poker face, bluff, COINTELPRO, weed out Judas, cause if Hoover do it, there'll be nothing left but specks of transgressions. Tumbleweeds where history once grew tall as fences in August of the Wilson time of day aftermath, calculated abacus madness signature on backs railroad tie rewards for speaking out of line work songs belted by battalions of broken men finding ways to make a dollar swinging hammers. Those splinters made this land, passed down from poplar tree seeds, urbanite kings and queens made junkies and fiends for government subsidies, projects of public housing merry-go-round welfare office selling everything that's not bolted down. Call it crack, baby. It was those times I heard you. In piss-filled alleys, shadow snakes hiding in tall grass, bite deadly boa, constrict mobility to 10-block radius, no rights in sight. In the event that sentences need to be carried out, only speak when spoken to in slum village trench town that smothers you. Ghettos, I say ghettos, I mean ghettos are the same everywhere. They all stink, teeter on collapse to snatch the soul from old school beings in the flesh. I must confess, I don't know if I'm qualified to utter your words or speak into your poems. I pray I do this passion, some sort of grace to keep you in faces and spines of those who trace the stars with sacred vision from painful beginnings. My hope is this letter finds you resting in your paradise where poetry is the national language, where ears are finally tuned to the frequency that fuels me to keep this Olympic torch blazing. Thank you for being fearless enough to share it with me. Sincerely, a humble poet, blessed by your presence. Peace. I just, I'm a fanboy, man. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? If you know anything about, again, you know anything about anime and My Hero Academia, like I'm just basically a Midoriya of poetry, like for real. For real. Uh, so, few more, right? I'm at nearly half of my time. So I could spend my time going over, oh yeah, I got anime poetry for real. It's in my book too. But I wanted to get into some of the newer stuff, simply because it's just different, right? Like Jay-Z said, it's just different. um, and I am gonna end with definitely some brand new shit. It really is still wet. But as I said, I wanted to share this because this one was inspired by a line from our friend Gustav Salas. I know some of you have heard this, but I want to make sure that it resonates not only with me, but with you also. Uh, Again, back to Daughter of Krypton. This was one of her prompts, which is coming up tomorrow. Wake up and write, plug in. This is just about protesting, right? One of Gustav's favorite lines was, "Hey, come to Chaos Magic. Let's start some good trouble," right? And one of the lines that he had said in one of his other poems that jumped out to me was, "By inaction and silence, we will allow." Now, when I wrote this, there were two different people, but it still works. It still works. So this is just protesting the state of affairs. I saw a volley of words by zombies so absurd, broadcasted live for worlds to collide on this side of absolutely ridiculous. Haven't you heard? We've been given a choice, which is an illusion, of course. Do you want to get screwed? Or do you want to get fucked? It's just our stinking luck that we get conquest in place of Congress. It's our fault. By inaction and silence, we will allow dumb or damn to lead a country tis of thee into oblivion, throwing dollar signs at problems they call politicians, 21st century rendition of Hail Caesar full of grace, as space becomes latest challenge for the great violence of supremacy. Growling, heavy, deadly, as Hemi on patrol reminds survivors who's really in control to have and to hold from this day forward. We will not remain silent. We not remain silent. Remain silent. We will not remain silent. Silent sounds disgusting as national anthem of blushing Brutus, mutant abusers that like to fancy themselves rulers of worlds. Chaos will be our carpenter, Jesus Christ, holy hammer, driving more folks to insanity than nails fastening contraptions called democracy, ghastly, bloodthirsty, no great Gatsby, with devil's concubines, Satan's satin sheets, sown seeds of lust, harvested in purple mountain majesties like to hold court in public opinions, make families casualties of war-torn streets. Call it imperialism, covered in America's white sheets with red stripes and old glory blue truth. This land is their land. Show every man can be an American if every molecule is willing to stand American band or on business or Stephen King or with mankind willing to evolve past Neanderthal brain and refrain from arcane ideas of making a slave's nightmare great again. I'll be cotton picking Mississippi Magus. Goddamn, if I'ma ever let that shit happen again, let's keep it a bean, 100 and a stack. Real as revolution was our first language in your utopia. We, the people, will veto your vote for victimizing venom-filled airwaves you call the news. We will use your language to bury you in the blood. Truth. Peace, y'all. Oh, whew, goodness! Like this is this is it's work. It's work, y'all. Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, folks. Whew. It does, like, I have to admit, I miss this bone rattling feeling of my work coming to life, right? Because I don't get a chance to do it all the time. Um, um, and that's really, really my whole mission, is to make your bones rattle the way mine do. You know what I mean? You get the first person experience. You know what I mean? I think I may end with that. I think I may end with that. That's a shorty. That's a shorty. Um, okay. So I want to hit you with another new piece. I remember I did this other piece, and Thomas was like, "Oh shit, okay, hey Daybreak, how you doing?" I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. I did this New York last week. Joski, shout out Joski C, wasn't able to make it right away, and so I was like, "Yo, I gotta come through with something, right?" And I had been kind of tap dancing around with this. I shared it with the Keeper of Concrete, and it just turned into this. So this is Numbers Don't Discriminate. Whew. Numbers make sense, and sense from Dewey Decimal to correctional bicentennial. Negative integers become insequential in regards to crime, and colors of men with three-stripe prefixes praying to holy reapers for non-existent leniency under repugnant robes that strike new auction sound blocks come to order. Bend rules, break families and backs with gavel handles, carve out centuries of sentences still unread by illiterate iterations of trigonometry, make you number property. New slave representative of once upon a time called free, turned DOC cash crop in big pharma backyards, pulling blood from turnips like rotten teeth from mouths of fancy madness made of money. I mean, power. I mean, the type of sickness that would curdle a cannibal's stomach into Candyland. Chutes and ladders make it hard to escape a devil's paradise where they monopoly blackjacks just for craps and giggles, make them dominoes falling. Sorry, less sorry, yet so sorry, as in condolences, more Pasha Parcheesi, relieving simpletons of complex movements become night terrors that boogeyman REM sleep into burning building where alarm clocks scream Bloody Mary, extra hot sauce, nice and spicy, just a few Scovilles hotter than hell, nah, as arsons make love to flames, one ember at a time. Fire. With every centigrade at its Fahrenheits of Ohio players yanking oxygen from when I grow up, I want to make soul music, cover it in ash, sing it goodnight, sweetheart, tuck it into s'more the same, just a different toilet. Believe me, these beasts are comfortable with raw meat between teeth that preach salvation and separation from practicality to dominance at $1,000 fake plate steak dinners, holding glory in greasy palms and manicured egos. DuPont doubloon goons, plantation profits dug up from Uncle Tom's cabin floorboards, call it bootstraps, using bullets as pesticides with mad attempts to eradicate poverty, make it fertilizer, workforce, workhorse, dessert course for greedy ghouls that enjoy goblin truths and spit out lies, call it sunshine. Good morning. Rising with a rosy red fuck you call, you're only 4 years behind. Work harder. Your parents weren't slaves, right? You can catch up. Can't you? Peace out.
And you said that was your last piece, just making sure.
No, I'm gonna give you two more.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I didn't want to jump the gun and say
Two
everybody
more.
give it up. So I just want to make sure.
He was waiting for
Awesome.
all of our brains to kind of settle back in.
Two more. One's a shorty, and then I'll end with the new piece. So this is, an oldie, and then I guess a goodie, a new piece. I don't know. Paint slingers in the building, but this is an old piece. It's a short piece, and the other one is a little bit shorter too. And then I'm gonna get out of here on y'all. I really can't. I really can't thank y'all enough for rocking with me, man. I've been rocking with some of y'all. Y'all been rocking with me for some years, man. And I really can't say I love you, because I love you is not enough. I really can't say I appreciate you, because I appreciate you is not enough. You know what I mean? Like that's why you get the energy and the aggression that you do in my poetry, because it's how I can show you that I love you. Not just tell you, but I can show you that I love you by giving you everything I got. Trust me, when I'm done with this feature, all I'm gonna do is consume cold things and some hot ones. Cold ones and hot ones. So this is this kind of goes into who I am. But it really speaks to what I do, in a sense. Again, this is an oldie, but it's a shorty, and then we'll get into the new piece, and I'm gonna get out of here. This is the avatar state. It takes a level of spiritual focus only known to few to breathe through soul's control state of being beyond focus into new space of seeing through action, where lines become signs of umbilical connection to destiny. Air. Reincarnation of saving grace with savagery laced in weather veins that bleed tropical depressions, tornado facial expressions, push wind speeds past critical levels, last bender of air from every angle, transcender of timelines to learn every element for protection. Water. Soft and solid, quiet riot of fluidity with Katara affinity, listening to sonar secrets of apex carnivore delicacies, tailfin assassins, home and deepest unknown typhoon swell tidal waves crash into Earth. Seeing vibration without eyes, movements fused with granite to turn heavy to medley of metamorphic disasters with dolomite drip, spit from lips that sip sulfur, diamond culture, cement flow through bones, cyclone, fire, fresh out of frying pan, Prince Zuko stance, feel heat in Iroh spiral flame, burn reminders that scars. These scars respect the heat. These scars protect the heat. It scars. Tears become embers of wildfire fantasies, blaze, devil, full metal, trough, Elric posture, wrap titanium around dangling craniums, make mercury plaything with tungsten punctuation, sharpening iron on this road design, eye of storm, heavyweight, arrows pointing to ensure the energy is not misplaced, to become something much, much more when he enters the avatar state.
Storm God in the building.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all.
Storm God in the building.
Storm
God in the building.
Storm God in the building.
Hey.
One more, and I'm out for real. And this is just the paint that I'm gonna sling on my camera, and y'all not gonna hear from me no more, man. It's really been a rough one, man. School's been trying to kick my ass, man, but I've been doing my best Wolverine impersonation. So this is really the newest shit. Shout out the paint slingers in the building. This is She said, oh no. I never knew accelerant could sashay its sweet ass into sexy skin, wearing passion poured perfume on pores, yearning to burn yesterday's goodbye from tomorrow's good morning, covered in nothing more than sunshine and a smile. Tied in destiny's knot, knowing not where you start to make me aftermath or wrath of titans, raining tears that drown excuses, and love don't love nobody. She said, do you know love times daylight squared? It creeps in strangling shadows where disgusting daybreak cyclone horizons into somewhere this side of yellow brick road between wicked rainbow pages where stories cared by complicated concubines calling heaven like good God almighty, resting on tattered tongues turned to speed dial, sound like watch your mouth when you question heartbeats this heavy, these grounds holy. Witch doctor sanctum took an oath to rip your ambition asshole to appetite, quarter turn for good measure, screaming, thank you, master. May I have another, wearing a crown made of horns with glory on horrid shoulders, bow down and lick your senses clean. Fashion your hallelujah into how may I serve you once I become you, when grovel makes gravel, chewing graveyard soil with tombstone spoons. Here lies another dreamer, wishing skies would fall, trading pins for granite hollow tips, kissed, fired, conspired with all things shrapnel to pray your last rites with 5.56 murder capsules, murder capitals made run-on sentences concurrently, belligerent, once ignorant, lace them up, mandates released too high for simpletons, mathematics, simpletons on the outskirts of once upon a time, white flight actually worked. Tell me, how do you simplify improper faces or negative innuendos open, hoping you stumble and fall for wasted glances, glaring at bottomless beauties of beautiful, wrapped in bodacious bodies that four-alarm fire your good Lord, did you see her, to sirens singing your favorite song called Emergency Heart Transplant, to something less susceptible to capture views of a future burnt to ash just as fast as it flickered to flame. Blame love and every you'll never find tied to every curve and has its goddamn nerve to speak eternity with a straight face. She said, your life is mine, right? May you live long as I can use you to make me better. Come to America. Peace, y'all.
God damn. This is just what I expected for
Say that
everybody
last
here.
line again. Just say that last line.
Everybody give it up for Elemental at this time.
Elemental in the house. Rocking it.
Elemental.
Rocking
Good to hear you,
I
it.
really want to hear that
Thank you
last
for
line
that.
again.
Elemental.
You're gonna have to watch the video.
Oh man, that
Them
took
guys
it
knock
home.
down
That took it
buildings.
home. Say it.
Rocking it.
Them guys knock
Oh, yeah.
down buildings, man. Like you always inspire me. Like there's certain turns of verse that you do, like when I think you're going to go the other direction, you just like boom, you
That-
know, swim with the dolphins on the other end instead of
Yeah.
swimming
You just
with sharks on
defined
the other
jazz.
hand. You know what I mean?
You
Like
just
you're always choosing elements of the ocean to swim with, you know, and you always have the flow that goes with that flow of oceans, man. Like I'm like you say certain things that convict me in so many ways, and um,
You know,
I think
yeah,
I could
right.
never.
I identify with so much of what you're speaking. That's one thing. So it just draws me so close. It's great to hear you really opening up your voice a lot more lately when you're doing these poems. It's a beautiful thing to witness going on in your work. And, you know, like some Kanto, I'm just perpetually inspired and driven, and you spark my mind with what you say. And I really do. What's kind of warms me and makes me feel optimistic is I really do see this continuity in what you're doing, Elemental, with your work that continues this really long tradition of this spoken poetry and just cleaving to the power of the spoken word. It just somehow, for a person of little faith, it gives me a ton of it. So it's just beautiful to hear that set. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I think I figured out another part of your code, folk. Like people coming off as Kanto, like people will flip words, right? I mean, can turn a catch a phrase. What you do is, and somebody please tell me if I'm right or wrong, you will break down a word's syllables. A word can have 3 syllables in it, and you'll take the middle syllable and you will rip off
and play
the
off
middle
of that
syllable
one. Yeah.
and go somewhere else. Like, and that's a skill set that can't be taught. It can be emulated, but it can't be taught. Like, that's innate. That's super dope, man. It was a pleasure watching your shit today.
Yo, and again, not even your poetry, but I don't know if you guys know this, but Open Minds, like what we do here, all our shows and everything, was really inspired by this man right here. If it wasn't for me showing up to the New Yo and being inspired by him, because he told me stay inspired. And so I did for the last 3+ years. Like it was because of this man right here that I kept going with it. And then not only that, but the people that we would meet at the New Yo and then do this Friday show. So like what you guys might not know is like Elemental sort of the hidden fifth element in this Open Minds fam, you know, and just yo, and I was telling Dre, I was like, yo, this man's like featured on my birthday every year since. I always requested like either it was on my birthday or not. This year, the show landed on my birthday, so my wife's like, I booked you as the feature. And I'm like, no, I wanted Elemental. Like, what do you mean? No, you got to do it. I was okay. So now this been 3 months coming, and I'm so excited for it. I finally got my Elemental feature for my birthday. It took a little while, but I got it.
Let's try to make it a thing that you're not a feature for your own birthday. Let's have Elemental.
Hey, my wife did that. Yeah, my wife did that. Well, because it actually landed on the day this year. All the other times it was Elemental.
Way to celebrate your birthday, doing what you love to do, right? Amongst a community of cats who love to do and hear what you do.
But no, but I wanted you for my birthday. I don't care what I do. I hear that shit every day. I want to hear you.
Like for real though. I mean, before you get to all the belligerent whatever you're gonna do later on when the sun goes down, you know what I'm saying? Like I think it's important for you to spend time doing what led you to the happiness that you experience on your birthday. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And for me, every year, whatever I do, right? I'm thinking, okay, yeah, my birthday is gonna come around to one of these open mics, right? Whether I'm there or not, right? My birthday comes in April. So, I'm writing during my birthday every single year anyway. You know what I'm saying? But to be able to do that, right? Especially, losing friends. We know that we don't have an infinite amount of time. So think about, as children, right? When they they light the candle and say, okay, make a wish.
These are limited edition tokens that we're creating.
You know what I mean? What else could you wish for than to be amongst a bunch of crazy ass creatives? Some crazy.
Yo, and I love it. Everybody
I got a wish.
Community, man. Like, yo, what, right? Like, chilling with all y'all. Like,
I got a wish. I want you to kick one more piece and take my time.
And speaking about birthdays, hey, look, it's Garland Thompson's birthday. It's his first night here at Open Minds. Elemental, you know him from the New Yo. Can you spit just a birthday poem, like anything you got, or freestyle, just something to celebrate Garland's birthday to end out your feature set with? Can you do a birthday poem, please, brother?
Birthday poem. Who listen? My birthday poem is a sad poem. All right, so I'm
okay. That's all
my
right.
birthday poem is a sad
Hey,
poem.
as long as it's a birthday poem, no matter if it's sad, happy, whatever, man. Read it.
You got a birthday feature, dude.
I was just thinking I wanted Elemental as a feature on my birthday too. Thank you, Open Minds.
Oh, before you perform, just to also throw in another birthday, John, who is always, featuring and watching us all perform, John Baller, it's her birthday too today. So
Yeah, happy birthday, Joan
happy birthday,
Baller. We
John
love your
Baller.
art.
as well.
Happy birthday.
Keep making art. Stay inspired, as Elemental would say.
I can't hear the word "stay inspired" without thinking of Zoom Kunto. Though I tell you, he really pushed that word out there when I first jumped on board. It was like there wasn't a time he spoke that inspire wasn't part of it, and so we all inspire. But I want you to kick another piece. I want to sacrifice my time. I want to give you that. I don't know if you'll do it, but
Okay. I'll do this. Thank you, Cece. And I'm sure they'll make time for you because you're just an incredibly dope individual. This is a poem that I did recently, where I mentioned earlier Thomas's response, but I think it talks about a lot of the things that we've been talking about, and for me, it's just I did a whole series of poems that ended like this, but for me, it's like when I see that, as I was just saying, right, as a birthday, as a candle, it's kind of one of those things. And when you blow it out, what do you wish for? This is Daybreak, and I'm out. I hate to say I'm sorry, but I was lying when I said hello, so let's start over. I was dreaming when I stopped you from crashing my love into your good goddamn and woke up in a why didn't I do this years ago. I could only say, how in our interpretation of beauty could you ever step into my sightline and expect not to crash land into I love you? Hi, my name is every sweet nothing sugar ever dreamt and forgot. Then shattered into glorious plantation days with glasses full of work songs that sound like power, like money, like roles of education models turned hairstyles, classrooms, cells to make biology, sociology with an audacity to sprinkle psychology on trickery-laced free lunch systems. Feed future freedom fighters heavy doses of explosive pure sulfur and have a nerve to pray or moment of silence their guilt into pledge of allegiance. Dear God, is it curriculum or core subjects that make calisthenics of catastrophes where social studies become SES hierarchy? Pardon me, I get carried away by slave ships, renamed, zoned, sculpted into classes. Now, masses simply creeps round slave brains every quarter of an hour, take time, make it test. Measure mind frames in states of stress, set at 68 degrees to increase the learning ability. It's funny. This mockery of identity with a hyphen standing in between still requires your death if necessary for votes to rip tongues from ballots, make tonsils tunction, firing bullets of bigotry one speech at a time. My fellow lost children of Shabazz, I'm sorry to the gods and the earth for calculating mathematics and mouths of madness. Degrees of tyranny. Reinforcement of supremacy that flipped 13 made it 23. Now we, the people, now every bit of me is now we, the people. I was dreaming when I wrote this. I heard him say, how could you ever love a lover's spirit without loving the love that loved you into love? Life. Living in loveless law-abiding citizenships, sailing off flat earth edges that we were not the original few. Blessings of solar flares that dared to take their war to their doors, screaming I love you with every ounce of 1968 John Carlos and Tommy Frazier I can conjure. Hi, my name is Daybreak, and welcome to the revolution. Peace, y'all.
Goddamn.
Happy birthday.
Be grateful, yo. That was an awesome encore. Give it up for Elemental.
Elemental in the house.
God.
Thank you for that feature, brother, and thank you
Rocking it.
for the encore.
Amazing.
And you are
Thank you, Elemental.
you are a jewel. You are a jewel. Like you belong like in on like somewhere on the necklace of the gods.
And like not even just for the poetry, but for what you do to the community too. Like how you inspired this space, how you inspire your space, how everyone who comes in contact with you wants to do more poetry, or you know what I mean? Like you just got that energy and we all tune in and feed it and get fed from it. And Elemental, you holding it, man. Like you
You
holding
know,
that shit down.
and I think you deserve some extra love for you as a poet, because you as a host, you as a community leader, you as a movement provider and an inciter of voices and freedom, and a stickler for no censorship, and the ship that you captain, all of that, gives you a platform for people to say, hey, you do so much. Now, why don't we hear your work? But on top of all that, you as an author and a writer and a poet, you earn that mantle on top of the other one, rather than let one pull the other ship along. And I want to give you that love that comes along with
That's why I love it when you show up here to do these features, because when we get
the
a
earn.
look
There's
inside your mind, when you're
there's
hosting, you
there's
don't get to share much, but you come
there's
here
the
to
earn
appreciate
of
it.
being known, and then there's your work stands on its own. It's like it's the jazz that gets me. I love the fact that you can compose, man. Man, double Z, old school Louisiana, that hometown you mentioned. I
Listen,
love
man.
it. Thank you.
I I really, really would not be able to do any of this if not for my community, if not for the energy that all of my community has conjured for the years that I've been doing this, man. It really is that, right? I am a passionate individual, right? And I've told y'all, the folks who know me, I only have one speed in this game, and that's go. For real. That's it. That's you know what I mean? But I truly love what I do, so it makes me want to learn. And so every night that y'all come through, every Thursday night, right? Yeah, I am hosting, but I'm learning from you, right? Which is why you get the introductions that you get, right? Because I am now very intimate with all of your work, right? And it has only made me a better host, but it has also made me a better poet, right? Because I'm learning from my contemporaries that I respect and that I love. And listen, I'm not just saying that it's the greatest community in the world. Like I truly, truly believe that shit. And I will fight. And I continue to fight for our
Yeah,
community
I
and make
concur.
sure it maintains.
Yeah, as host of Open Minds and stuff too, I concur, man. Like you learn from the poets and just the community too, and the friends you make. Not even just the poets, but we chat out, and like it's just is that knowing that there's a place that you are heard, and in this crazy world of technology with so many laws, people like wherever you live, whatever, to know that we can somehow all found each other to like spill art and the love of poetry and words, man. Like it's
And
amazing,
it's
man.
important to
Yeah.
know that. Last thing, and I want to hear the other poets. I'm gonna drop off the screen doing my thing, but I really want y'all to know the reason why you get the exuberance that you get, why you get the focus and the determination that you get from me as a host. Not that I didn't, but I always feel like, also shout out Sophia Monet, like this is a great opening tour between last night and tonight. Like you're on fire for real. But I always think about this. And listen, I know Marianne Teff, right? I know her work intimately. Also Paul Skiff, I know Zumkonto's work intimately. Garland Thompson, Joski C. But I still believe that you deserve the energy from me as the host, like it's my first time hearing it. You deserve that. Your work deserves that energy, right? Every single time, right? And then you guys come up and say, "Oh, well, you might have heard this before." Like, I don't care if I've heard it 100 times.
Hey, I listen to my
Still
favorite
just
song
as fucking
at
excited
least
to
once
hear
a
it
day.
for number 101. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, that's
If
the
it's
kind of
good, then
weird mind of,
keep doing it. Yeah.
So I just thank y'all for being dedicated, staying committed to what you're doing, for continuing to rock with me as the host of the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Thank y'all for believing in me. Thank y'all for believing in the community, and continue to help me move poetry forward. That's my whole goal. This whole thing is help move poetry forward. I love y'all, man. Have a great night, for real.
Shit, everybody. One more time. Elemental.
The store
Fuck yeah.
is leaving the building.
Some gods in the building. Storm God.
Yeah.
We need a
The
thunder
people
sound
see.
effect here. Somebody got a thunder sound effect here?
I gotta holler at my sound guy. We'll get that.
Oh my god. We still have half a show to go. We have a hell of a list to go through. But before we do, at this time, I want to be able to properly introduce the second half host of the show here, Jackson Riley, who will be co-hosting Come As You Are, because Nirvana's awesome. And also, what C and Jackson got going on with this writing workshop, it's going to be pretty much bleeding more creativity into the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. So it's going to be a fun
That's what I was telling Elemental.
crossover.
Wet paint coming your way soon.
Hell
Workshop
yeah, bring it.
Thursdays every day before the show, brother. 2 hours
Bring it,
before your
sling
show.
it, make it graffiti, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
And before I properly give it away to Jackson to be the host, so you could all forget about Dre, on deck we have CP Mays, but stepping up to the plate, give it up for Paul Skiff. Unmute and take it away when you're ready.
Okay. Well, what a fucking party. Thomas, you give good party. But I don't really know what to do. I'm gonna try to do this poem I've been taking out of the garage a few times, so it may sound familiar, but I kind of worked around with it a little. Thanks, Elemental. Oh, and thanks for flashing that CD up. I did put in the chat. If people want one, you can just email me. I'm surprised people have that ancient technology. Yeah, and you can't get it online. It's not streaming anywhere. Try this once. Attention requests to know a few seconds from then, where shine it all out, listens curious while brilliance probed shallow into universe's throat. As explanation lands on Neptune at fever's edge without having been asked, excommunication chosen pleasure cure between clitoris demanding shiver because is and that matters without details. Antarctically moan free. kiss manufactured by not being restricted to mean, spontaneous laugh, the park between hysteria and ecstasy, inclined to quit rapture, empties laughters of shade, immense, cosmic liberation, throwing clothes off, more euphoric, more euphoric than naked. Ascension transforms beauty as more than what is possible to word feel. Feel without hindrance had cause for celebration to belong, not possessed. Eat with the hand from alabaster smile, horizon in fingertips, D-Zoo's commotion climax times with pulse jolt. Even if that because so instead, wherefore start is can be within, even if that because so instead, wherefore start is can be within, hinting illuminates transparency, grasp, knowing sees through, release the me. Release the me felt long ago and that I now pushing learns. This scent, do you smell this scent, this sense? This word, this body full of words, this body bag full of words, this sense yet to be learned, lived, loved, and be evolved, immaculate. Arrive at leaving, depart upon, here cast for never having been before. Go feel, go feel, go see, feel. Feel, go, see, feel, stand at brightness. Stories imagined to tell a dream of speaking, be stared into needlessness kisses, the nameless purpose of for pure love throw. I'm not going to say that twice. Body a celestial glimmer and name time sun blood holds. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Foresight question is not hollow. Now history's in gift for what could memory accept, even if that because so instead, wherefore start is can be within. Just try that is all I ask. And if you miss it all, if you never find it, just accept being empty. Just accept being empty. Sometimes it is better we not know each other. Sorry to get so dramatic. Thank you all.
That was awesome.
Paul, thank you.
That's called.
That was
doing
awesome.
Sorry to get so dramatic. That was so unnecessary.
That's just called doing the skiff. Like it wouldn't be a skiff poem without that. Honestly, it really does.
There's
make a
one
difference when
thing.
you kind of jump into that trance, when you kind of lean into who you are. Yeah, it comes out like that, man. And it's a thing of beauty, sir.
There's one thing that you do that is rare. in poetry circles, that you take these very deep entrenched feelings that people feel, and then you give a rhythm to them. I think that is very rare in most circles, because to give a rhythm to pain is something that we all avoid. We just want to say the words, right? But you give rhythm to them, and when you are being rhythmic about pain and about things that you see, because your eye is very, very ridiculously sharp. Um, when you are making us see that through your eye, I think that it's one of the most amazing things that a fellow poet could ever witness, because I'm always enamored in your experience. Thank you.
Well, I'm honored to have you uh, give that to me uh, in such a brotherly way. Thank you. I'm touched by that, and you know, uh, Elemental just got done talking about feeling it, right? Feeling big, feeling it big. And, it's about inhabiting those words that we think we're externalizing. But, when I talk about the power of the spoken word, people have heard me say this before, because it's a living, breathing, entity, then it comes off your whole person. It's not just the mechanics, the biomechanics of your mouth and throat and tongue. You're using your whole body and the part of you that is not physical at all. And
It's quite funny, because I was actually saying this to someone earlier on, like poetry is a spirit. And you have to, we wake up to honor that spirit. And when that spirit is not honored, there is reason for his anger against us. You know what I mean? There are some people who would rather just use poetry so that they feel good, or make the world feel that they are special in some way. No, poetry doesn't require that. Poetry requires that as a spirit, you feed it and make other people realize that the spirit has been fed, and all of you come together to celebrate that that spirit has been fed. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Wonderful.
Voilà.
Yeah. It's about just trying to be one with that, put it in antique language, that vibe, and resonate with it for everybody. And I hear what you're saying about the valence of the poem, positive, negative, dark, light, and that I'm right there with you about that. To me, the important thing is just what you described so eloquently and specifically about you honor that poem, right? You help that poem manifest, and that's where all the fulfillment comes in. And believe me, I'm always trying to get to feel good, but as so many and we all here know, that giving life to those parts of your experience that have etched themselves into you, whether they're positive or negative, they call you to live them and respect them, and not always, it's that thing in the closet, in a sense, to use a cliche, and it's there and you understand it and you honor it and you live it, but you don't want to go take it out of the closet and shove the clip into it and cock it, right? And I increasingly, one of the beautiful, I'll just stop in a second here. One of the most beautiful things about being with you all in these rooms over the past extended period of time is just being a witness to how everybody is becoming more and more amplified with their poetic existence. And, in a sense, these places are that kind of garden for nurturing the spirit. A pleasure. It is my delight to be here among you.
It's our delight to hear you every time, Skiff. That was beautiful. And like everyone said, the way that you take the metaphysical and make it palpable and digestible in a way that we can, digest, and it doesn't leave us feeling wanting, and it leaves us walking away with it in a way that we sit on that for a while. Like, I'm going to think about that poem tonight. I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night and be like, damn, I didn't realize that this is something I internalized. And like Elemen2al said, it really does put you in a trance. It's like siren song. Like if I were piloting like a mariner out on sea, I would definitely crash into the rocks listening to that. That was excellent. Thank you so much. Next up, let's see. On deck, we have Escape Artist, but next up, stepping up to the plate, the man of many monikers, the razor blade shave with. Everyone, please give a warm welcome for CP Mays.
Woo!
Hey, Mays,
Lot of mercy.
in the house.
Deliver the lesson.
I know that guy.
You put the hum in humble.
Can I get your autograph?
I ended up finding one of my poems from I think 2010. I ended up ranking 4th in the world for slam poetry, and it's a poem that I don't ever get to really read because it's like a 4-minute poem. In the world comps, like for all the days we're competing against everybody or whatever, it's like one day is a 3-minute round, a 2-minute round, one day is a 1-minute round, a 4-minute round. So you have to have poems that can, and then have multiple poems that you could throw in, right? So here's the only 4-minute round poem that I wrote, and I risked it all with this poem. It paid off though. It's called Hometown Hero, sorry. Gonna take a lot out of me. This hometown all-American has a cannon for an arm, a fruit roll-up, and 8 glasses of milk a day for an addiction. Rushed more yards last year than all of the town's drunk drivers and neighborhood whores combined. Was raised on poverty, failure, audibles, and apple pie since he was knee-high to his father's Oxycontin and crystal meth addiction when it comes to 4th and inches. Fumble of failure. Kin folks are John Deere focus under dim their headlights cause fuck it. Foes will find more success at finding Waldo before a foe will find him playing possum or playing chicken, second fiddle or second string to any fly-by-the-night stranger's drive. Hometown, high school, all-American, praise and faithfully worships in Sunday school, and through old senile Uncle Joe shotguns whenever kinfolks are young, old, as slow as illiterate and alliteration, older, stuttering cousin Scooter, stutters up Copenhagen dipstick bullies down past by old yonder's railroad tracks, down past yonder's where I'd rather freestyle. That's cool. I always listen to my soul. Earlier today, I walked into a VA department. And as I walked up, there was a good old boy that called a woman a C-U-N-T, then followed it back with an N-I-G-G-E-R, and I felt strange. I felt wronged. I felt strong. I felt like I should slap the taste out of this old school redneck's mouth, but there I was. I was in a building where a whole bunch of retired killers go to get their medical treatment. I sat back and I paused. I watched the crowd. I watched the people that watched this man walk by. I looked at the lady who didn't budge but cracked a smile like, fuck you. for everything you have no understanding for. It made me think back, y'all. It made me think about how my grandfather died not knowing how to read or write. It made me think back about poetry and what I would do tonight. It made me think about how most cats think spoken word and even a fucking art form. It made me wonder if these pretentious assholes ever thought about things. One, Black Americans weren't even allowed in college atmospheres. Two, so how the fuck can they compete in your fucking academia's world? Three, so you talk shit about an art form that you're no good at. Four, do you wonder why most spoken word artists never ask if you can emote emotions? Five, you sound like a teacher writing on a chalkboard with that same monotone voice. No wonder why people don't really understand what you're talking about. Six. I felt shitty today, and I think the mind state I was on when this old redneck yelled the C word followed by the N word, I thought about fucking Donald Trump and how he beat being sentenced today. It made me look at America and wonder why all the people who are so gung-ho Constitution will vote for an asshole who beat the Constitution. Shit. It makes me wonder about how a man can talk about grabbing a woman by her crotch, can still hold a spot and running for president. Shit. It made me think about a man who's filed bankruptcy more times than I've been called nigga. Shit. It made me think about an America that has the KKK in its spelling. Shit. It made me think about the people who wouldn't allow my family members in a higher education institute. Shit. It made me think back about the people who don't value our writing and our writing form. Shit. It made me think about my father who died telling me, son, be careful what you write about. Some shit doesn't have a statute of limitations. Shit. It makes me think about a lot of living we do. It makes me think about Thomas's open mic on the Friday and what it do. It makes me think about Skiff and how most people don't see it or not. Me and Skiff has the same writing style, we just deliver it different. Shit. It makes me think about Joski and how one day I'm gonna have him playing guitar while I freestyle on the mic. Shit. It makes me think about Cece, who I can call up 12:30, 1:30 in the morning and talk about life. Shit. It reminds me of the Teflon Don Dada. She goes by the name of Marianne Teff. She's the veteran supernova right hand to my left. Shit. It makes me think about the storm guards that are in the house. It makes me think about the boy that's in the Texas down south. Shit. It makes me think about the storm guard they call Zumkanto, who will let you know we can go toe-to-toe with any foe or any hoe for anybody who wants to know we write our life and give it on mics 5 days out of the night. Shit. It makes me think about Garland and how he's just a fucking anomaly. Shit. It makes me think about Riley and how he's the new breath coming up in the open mic. Shit. It makes me think about C. Santos and one day her opening up her own printing press. Shit. I don't know deep, but I know he's not gonna lead you a poem that's gonna let you fall asleep. Shit, escape artist is so dangerous with the pen. When I hear her write, I hear her invoke sin. Shit, I wonder where I will be when I'm reincarnated as a Sophia Monet that I often misread as Monique. Shit, I love what we do, y'all. And maybe that's why I'll never recite a poem just to recite one, which probably explains why I stopped the poem tonight. I'll never recite anything but life. I'll recite the wrong and the right. I'll recite the bipolars, the schizos, the ones who couldn't go to church, the ones who couldn't feel themselves off in public, the ones who can't love unabashedly. I feel like we are the next generation of writers. You are the next Emily Dickinson. You are the next Shakespeare. You are the next Tennyson. You are the next Poe. You are all my heroes. Shit. And to think about it, I wouldn't be here tonight if I slapped the taste out of that old redneck's mouth. Shit. Take it easy.
CP, brother. Yo, that was a dope freestyle. I love how you brought the family to
Yeah, but it would have
everybody.
felt good to
Unmute
slap
yourselves
that.
and give it up. Oh, wait. Oh, we would all collectively give one good.
And I know like Bell's bondsmen don't take cash apps, but if the Bell's bondsman can take cash apps, I would have slapped the hallelujah out of this guy. He was just wrong.
Listen, if the bail bondsman would take bingo cards, I would have slapped the taste out of a few mouths by now.
There you go. I just went by a bail bond office today down on Baxter Street across from the Tombs, and guess who's blown up a mugshot they have in the window? Frankie Sinatra.
Wow. Yeah.
Blue-eyed. Wow.
I think CP, I've let you know on so many occasions that you are right up here in my meniscus of being, in terms of poetry. I admire you not just as a human being, because you kill as a human being as well. But just in the way that you make words speak for the smallest to the highest of beings. You know what I mean? Like you go right through the stratosphere with your words, so that you speak to civilizations we don't even know about yet. And I think that's one of the most amazing things about you. And if you can keep doing that, then I'll keep listening.
Yo, straight up, hey, if we ever encounter an alien civilization, I'm gonna take a vote. Who should we send to go talk to these motherfuckers? It's gonna be amiable enough and fair. We gonna be sending CP Mays. Yeah. CP, handle that for us, man. Handle for that.
Hold up.
Brother of the glasses.
I continue to say it.
Brother of the glasses.
You gotta do it the right way. You gotta do it the right way.
Company, an esteemed gentleman of the glasses.
Yeah, the extraordinary glasses.
But the most extraordinary thing about CP is that he does not waste an inhale or an exhale
every bit of that passion
There's
and
not a
breath
moment,
is going into something.
There isn't a moment that if his life ended, he didn't spend the last billion of them living at the edge of what it means to say something. And that is way beyond poet person.
And that's why he's
and the thing is that whenever I talk to him, it's like it's almost like I don't have a choice but to live there. If I'm not riding that surfboard of being, then something's gonna catch me. So I have to fly faster than the bitch of life can catch me. There's something magic about loving you, man. You're just
20-second story, and I hope it inspires. I get out the Marine Corps, and I'm in school, and I'm living off the GI Bill. 9/11 has happened. The world's in chaos. All this good jazz. I am going to school, and I'm a pre-nursing major, and I'm taking a British Lit 2. And I remember going to my British Lit teacher, and he would smoke cigarettes before class would start. And I was smoking back then. So we would share a cigarette, and I was like, hey, can you read these poems? Tell me what you think about it. He comes back to me, and he's like, these poems are better than some of the poems in our book. And it blew my mind, right? I was like, nah, like, you're saying that because I'm one of your students. Like, like you're trying to make me feel good about whatever. And then he was like, well, what's your major? Nursing. Why nursing? I could deal with blood and shit. How come you're not an English major, poetry? I can deal with blood and shit. And he was like, well, on your deathbed, would you regret never having pursued the life of a poet? I changed my major that day. I say all of that to say,
Yeah,
you
he
never
busted
know.
you with that hard challenge there.
Yeah.
The
You
funny
never know
part,
where inspiration is going to come from. You never know. It can come from, I mean, teachers are like, oh, they're the hallelujah of existence. I don't know. Like teachers, like we wouldn't know shit how to talk if it wasn't for a teacher, really. You know?
Shout out to all the teachers.
the
Yeah,
funny
it's like shout
thing,
out to all the teachers. But
the
you
funny
never know
thing,
where your inspiration comes from, I guess is what I'm saying. It can come from friends, it can come from foes, it can come from anywhere. So thank y'all. I thank y'all.
the funny thing is that even with nursing, you are still doing the same poetry. You know what I mean? You are still going to heal somebody either way. So, so I'm glad that person came and intervened in terms of the textual essence of what you do, poetry. But even as a nurse, you would have still healed the very same way. So
Yeah.
I love
And on
that.
that note, I have a paper that's due by midnight, but I had to hear some poets before I left. And you know, as English majors, we can write a paper at the last moment, but I got a lot of reading to do to get to the point.
Let him go. He's taking 4 fucking classes right now. Go.
One last
brother.
thing. One last thing, CP. You said inspiration can come from anywhere. Thank you. Thank you for being our anywhere. Yeah, thanks for being our anywhere.
You are our anywhere. Thank you for that. Well said, Paul.
I'm not gonna try.
Yeah, you're so damn poetic.
Right.
You know what it is,
Thank
folks.
you.
Holla at me, man. You know we got work to do.
I love y'all. Collabos coming up. Me and Skiff and me and Zonkanto. Holla back.
Yay! Thank you, CP.
Love you, Garland.
Team
Happy
Earth.
birthday, man.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Garland.
Glad to be. Thank you. Glad to be in such esteemed company, my brother.
Live long and prosper.
Team Earth, who are we sending up? CP Mays.
CP Mays.
Hell yeah.
The ambassador of Earth.
Ambassador of Earth.
My ex used to say no one should leave this planet and go into space without a poet.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah, that is if aliens let any earthlings near them, you know, if they had any sense.
That was awesome. I'm glad that we all got to be here and witness that before CP had to peace out. Next up, well, on deck, we have Marion Taft, but next up, I want everyone to give a very warm welcome to Escape Artist. I'm so excited to hear this.
Escape Artist. And Noah, and don't say it's hard to follow, because everyone is a fucking their own genius. Don't do that. Just do the being you are. We love you. Bring it on.
Thanks. That was phenomenal. I love CP. He's one of my favorites. So I'm glad I got to hear him. So this is pretty new. I'm still working on it as of today. I'm not sure if I'm still working on it, but we shall see. So far, I don't have a title of it. So I guess the temporary title is, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? Here we go. When a bear attacks a human, they are euthanized due to the severity of the incident. A bear that attacks a human will begin to see humans as a food source and return to that source of food over and over. When a man attacks a woman, she is questioned, doubted, judged, asked a series of questions, including but not limited to, what was she wearing? What was she doing out so late? Is she sure she said no? She must have done something. And he too will return to that source of food over and over again. It is no wonder a woman would choose a 900-pound beast to play survival with in the middle of the woods, rather be towered over by an 8-foot giant than a 6-foot coward. Rather be ripped apart by 4-inch claws than bare hands. Should a bear consume your flesh, you know it isn't personal. It's not because your dress was too short, because you told them no, because dinner wasn't ready on time, because you wouldn't stop laughing. It will not kidnap you, lock you in a basement, torture you and rape you like Leonard Lake, will not strangle you in the middle of the woods like Gary Ridgway, will not pretend to love you, marry you, then drug you to the point of unconsciousness to have you violated. It's just because it's in their nature. The most common reasons for bears to attack are when they're threatened, hungry, or protecting their young, as they too are preyed upon by predatory men. The nature of man has always been to dominate, to exert power over ever since Lilith was exiled for trying to be more equal than submissive, since they erased her from history, used Eve as a scapegoat to villainize women, blame us for having fatherless children, like women be the reptile that curse humanity. Yet still, some men think they are the safety option. In America, there's approximately one fatal black bear attack per year. The odds of being attacked by a bear at Yellowstone National Park is 1 in 2.1 million, while 1 out of 3 women have experienced violence against them. In 2022, almost 500,000 women that we know of were raped or sexually assaulted in the US. 90% of adult rape victims are female. What is particularly common is when it comes to sexual assault or murder, many victims know their assailants, could have called them father, uncle, brother, could have woke beside a lover undercover, meaning they shared hellos, how are yous, and even I love yous, shared laughs, hugs, space, memories, and there was no warning of the violence waiting for them. No growls or roars or heavy steps, no rustling in the leaves, just heavy breaths, ravaged by a familiar face, preyed upon by smiles as we were walking home from work or school or playing with dolls. Sometimes survival of the fittest is just making it home without encountering Ted Bundy. The crude nature of a man to hunt down fresh flesh and warm bodies. And most times, they don't even need a weapon, just bare hands. This is why they choose the bear. Thanks. And my second one.
More.
Okay. When God said, "Let there be light," my baby, in the middle of my palm, center of my arms, opened her eyes, and there was life. It's the first time I saw him birth a planet. Neither of rib nor dirt, she still has wings in her eyes. I look for them always, when I want a place to daydream, when darkness wraps her arms around me. The firefly she blinks with reminds me it will not always be night, but even if it shall, there will always be light. And it is so. The New Testament of my life, no longer a wanderer or a stray. I belong to love now. I would never go so far as to call myself a god, but the capabilities are within me. Tasked to split the sea with the staff I hold between these fingers, birthing both books and babies. My immortality lies in their spines, a notch below God, a step above Creator. I am Mother, which means I am artist and nebula, both womb and Eden, body of tree of life and tree of knowledge. I thought I knew creation like my reflection in the mirror, made so many lifeless things to feed the hungry loneliness in me, till he reached into this desolate body of water, handed me a baby and said, "Let there be light." She opened her eyes and there was life. It was the first time I saw him birth a planet, start of my very own solar system. Thanks.
Wow.
That's
Everyone
gorgeous.
unmute and give it up for Escape Artist.
Yes,
Man,
Gabe,
I
that was
love it,
beautiful. I
man.
love that.
That
That's
lie. My immortality lies in their minds. Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, the way you
man.
wrapped that poem up in your arms and equated it, the equilibrium between addressing God in a poem and the way you touched it into that moment, and it just the way you balanced that is amazing. I've seen a lot of people take that and throw leverage on it and tilt the seesaw of it all. And but wow, that was precious.
Yeah, your first poem, I really celebrate what you did with your voice to speak that poem. And I was struck also by, it was a parable. Part of this poem was, and we don't have enough kind of modern parables like that where you can really make people wake up and take notice by talking about something in a different way that's really unexpected. The whole thing about, the device of the bear and so forth. That I really celebrate your speaking out that way about just what you were talking about. I just don't think it may seem like you hear it all over, but to my mind, there's never enough of that.
I started writing nursery rhymes, and the fact that Paul just said parable, I think he's onto something there. That does take it to another level. It's the bear. Yeah, I love it. Once upon a time.
Yeah.
Thank
Amazing
you.
work.
Yeah, that was
There was a
phenomenal.
bear. I did not care. Next to him was a big man or whatever, little man or whatever. I don't know. I'm a fan of Mother Goose. I have the annotated Mother Goose I'm reading right now.
I think the whole idea that is spun around that meme is not really about the bear. I think it's about the very insidious nature of patriarchy and how we are letting it get away with most of with most of the things that it shouldn't get away with. So
Oh yeah.
for you reminding us of that is a beautiful thing, and
Yeah.
I think that the world needs to hear more poems like that at this point.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. We were just in a cipher after last night's New Eureka, and kind of sort of topic came up, or this instance about an imbalance in the number of male voices and female voices that can happen in a room, and the different effects that can have. So that's partly why I kind of felt motivated to tell you I really celebrate, what you were talking about in that first poem. It's changes the dynamic in this room and rebalances it. And I think, just communicating inwardly to the people here, to me, that's just a very vital thing for somebody who comes here to be doing.
Definitely. And more on that later though. Let's get the rest of this round going so we can finish up the recording and then do round 2 and we can get into more art and more introspective looks at art through somebody else's eyes, which Skiff, you're just amazing at. I can listen for hours, but I know we still have some performers that want to perform, so we're going to keep the list rolling. Jackson, if you could let us know who's coming up next, I'd appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, on deck we got Zumkonto, but next up we have the one, the only Marianne Teft. Let's hear it.
Heart of gold.
Thank you very much, Jackson. Thank you, CC. Thank you, Thomas, for having me tonight. And of course, Elemen2al. What a privilege to be in the room with you tonight. I'd like to share 2 poems tonight from 2 sides of the journey of love. The first one is, I know why the wind sighs. I know why the wind sighs through the trees, but crescendos uphill, giddy as spindrift. I know why the wind moans when its cool breath touches the warm sea. I know why the wind howls like a mourning mother and rages with abandon like a sword or pen unsheathed against injustice, for that is what I do when I reach to find you uncoiled beside me in the dark. Thank you. And the second piece, especially for this evening because Elemental happens to be here, and I got a kick out of how much you enjoyed this, Elemental. I'd like to share again tonight a poem called Queen of the Deck. Heard the table talk about you, said be careful what I do. You're the one who switches hearts like a dealer shuffles cards. Think I'm going to follow suit? Give you one more heart to hold? Never gonna see me do it. Always play my hand above board. You think you got all the aces? You don't really know me much. Bet we'll soon be trading places, what they call a royal flush. Think you got it your own way, cocky as the king of spades, till your full house tumbles down. Watch the Red Queen wear the crown. You thought you'd take all the tricks. No one here to call your bluff. Thought I was the kind to fold? You better call me Lady Luck. Maybe now it's time to call it. You've been playing games enough. Don't be so quick to cash your chips when you're playing games with love. You can play your cards close to your chest, but don't play me. I'm the queen of the deck. Thank you, poets.
Thank you. Everyone unmute and give it up for Marianne.
Yeah,
please.
Marianne.
Pure pleasure to
Marianne,
hear you.
I think Marianne transcends heartbreaker.
Marianne, I love that poem.
Marianne, thank you.
I see why you let that poem to
She's
that.
her own fucking casino with that poem.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's not playing either. Yeah, I love it. You have some of the most mature love poems that I know. You really take love and intimacy and sensuality and even erotica and responsibility and equilibrium. The dance of love. You pen that really well. You probably had to live it. So
probably did.
You don't get to write like that unless you died a few good deaths. And then the whole thing is, if I could say this, is I've always chosen love over blaming love itself. And I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it's not love's fault when love fucks you.
Very well said. Thank you so much, everybody. It was a privilege to share those poems with you tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Marianne has a gift when it comes to writing about love. And I think it ain't about love itself. It's about like the heights that love takes when her pen puts it to task, like when you put love to task as a poet, when you're writing about it, then it starts flying into spaces that people don't know about. So you're very good at doing that, and one love always.
Thank you. Thank you.
Real quick, please, if I may. Marianne, when you decide to really dig in all of your moonbeams into writing your poetry, it really, really comes off that way. It really, really comes off because the tide, which of course the moon controls, raises all the ships in the rooms that you're in. So when you really go in and all in on what you do, you really, really make a difference for everyone else in the room. So shout out, Jules, as always. Very thankful that both of you, continue to inspire me and our community. Please continue to do what you do as an educator and as a phenomenal poet.
Thank you so much, Elemental. It means the world to me. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
What Elemental said for sure.
Thank you,
Thank
Thomas.
you. Thank you so much, Marianne. The Red Queen came, hit the royal flush. No Lady Luck needed. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Next up on deck, we have CC, but before that, we have Zomkonto. Take it away.
One love. Thank you, everyone who came before me. In just recently, an Olympian called Rebecca Cheptegei from Uganda. She was burned to death by her so-called partner when she came back from the Olympics. And this is not the first time this has happened, because it happened again in Kenya last year. Another very good athlete who came back from the Olympics, same thing happened again, because the man couldn't deal with the fact that these women had now become larger than life, and they couldn't deal with that fact. So this is this is to them. So that punk of a man that would rather leave his lover dead inside and not stay long enough to remove the unmarked grave he left in her smile. These are my questions. When you are playing grave digger with a shovel to her lips, burying any words that linger and persist, begging to be spoken, do you feel satisfied that you have broken the only ground that held the sound of her voice firmly rooted to the roof of her mouth? Does it bother you that each blow of violence leaves her quivering speech leaking through that roof 6 feet deep into an irredeemable silence, which makes it impossible to unearth the letters of her ancestral name? And since unmarked graves cannot form a single sentence without misspelling the source of her pain, what will you write on the tombstone of her tongue? That here lies a muzzled speech wrapped in blooded sheets that had nothing meaningful to say? Do you have 10 tons of padlocks to the trap doors of your shame, such that your raised hands struggle to come together in applause, but instead fold into a terror of knuckles? Perhaps more important, has anyone asked you these questions before? Or do you avoid them to protect your infatuation with breaking her jaw? You see, every folded fist that ever existed had a chance to redeem itself by rising high in the air in solidarity. So when it came down at an angle and crash-landed in the space reserved for love and candles, it upset the tables set for those who would rather dine with open hands, feeding each other, reading the palms of their lovers to uncover the pathways to the soul-sacred home. For every folded fist that ever existed, some had choking butterflies inside them, begging to be released in time to migrate to where their souls would forever breathe with ease. Tired of improvising gas masks inside palms that wouldn't allow them to spread their wings. And because society would rather soften the blow by buying fresh boxing gloves instead of prying it open, they folded their fists, and the folded fist became emboldened to fight for everything else except for the love that it is meant to uphold. Some can't.
That was beautiful. That was really, really beautiful. Very, very heavy. Everyone, do you have another, or is that?
Okay, let me just pull a random.
Hold on, I was out back listening to that, so I just ran back to my microphone to tell you, holy shit, brother. That's some new stuff you writing now. Like, keep on that track, man. That was breaking the earth, dude. You could ask the storm guy right there. Elemental, what you think about that piece,
I
bro? Like,
mean, I was just trying to make sure if that was the end of it. Like, I'm still waiting on the cyclones to everybody get breath back. So yeah,
Rest
yeah,
in
come on,
peace
man.
to Rebecca Cheptegei. Read about her.
Yeah, amen.
Yes. Oh, God. That was really powerful. That's an important poem. Thank you for letting us know about this.
Like you talk about being a jewel, right? Like what you do, man. And I love introducing you, right? Because of the energy that you emit before you come to the mic. And then you have that same philosophy about just having that one speed when it comes to this game. You get on the mic and you just go. Every time I hear you, and I've heard this cat, I've seen this cat on YouTube sitting at a table with a bunch of people that don't look like him. And the next thing you know, he's in a fucking helicopter. But he gives his passion to what he does. And I really, really can't thank you for that. No matter what your audience is, you always give them the business. And that is Storm God business.
Storm God in the building. Always.
Yeah, man. That's my brother right there.
Yeah, that was incredible. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. That's definitely something I'm going to be reading on tonight. It's yeah, the way that you were able to take such a solemn event and extract from it your reaction and then distill that reaction into something so visceral that we could feel without really knowing intimately the situation. Like that was powerful, that was moving, that was so visceral. Thank you for sharing.
Much respect on that.
Next up on deck, we have Joski C, but now I want everyone to give it up for CC Arshaga.
CC, where you been? I miss you, brother.
I know, man. My life has taken a big turn, and that feature that I had here blew my mind and my life out of the water. And I had to realize that I had some shit to do, and so I was confronted with the decision to go back to work and make some funds in order to save my life and where it's going. And so that was like a swan song to that event. And since then, I've been busy trying to do that. And it has not been easy to take the heart and soul of a poet and artist and step back into the world where you're surrounded by people who need numbers and money and think that's reality. And then you kick shit and you're like, who are you? Fucking love and peace and fucking humanity. And it's like, so it's been weird. It's a strange journey, but I am not compromising the soul. So the business world is getting a little bit of a bitch slap from my presence, and we'll see. I don't even need it. I'd rather be poor in the end. But let's hear. This is a poem from the 90s when I went to open mics all the time. This was the most read piece that I did. I pulled it out of my filing cabinet, so I hope it's a top draft, and I'll see what happens when I read it, if it's older or newer one. But my experience in relationship to reading to an open mic way before the poetry scene became online or virtual, when there was, all of Greater Boston, the community of Greater Boston open mic poets was probably a pool of about 300 people out of a community of about 6 million, and that's Greater Boston, the entire metropolitan area. And out of that, the number of women that came up to me and said, because of this work, and said that they were abused as a child is mind-boggling. And it's called Daddy's Little Candy Street Secret. She could no longer throw her chessboard at what was happening fast enough to make the world shatter back into tiny pieces that lived like glitter on the back of her hand that she knew so well and in detail. Each sealed detail locked away in boxes of shock and buried alive within no innocent flowers there. There, where she can keep an eye on them, just an arm's length away from her face, admiring her Teflon manicure and smiling gently from her frost-bitten gaze, tightly lost in a twist of threatened safety at an opaque sight of the invisible stainless bloody blood on them, not there dripping. The blood of all who ever tried to get between Daddy and her safe, safe world. Her safe, safe two-old youth raped away to be the liquidity of her wall away quicker than hate, now gone to what this rearing sex means. He taught her to say in a living death pact, Daddy loves his little girl, she would say so from her world. Meanwhile, Mommy's sanity snapped into pieces of psycho-beaten worthlessness, caving in on itself again and again, surgically word cut by this sweet, sweet daddy, surgically cutting the crime right out of it. Till this one time, when it all passed through her mind time, the shattering whole of it came to darkness, no more, no more, no more, and all at once, all together, her stolen heart snapping back to be the mother person she is, so permanently, suddenly, was on the coming soundness of what next, and now, beyond all needs for a past tense diagnosis to lead to the cure of her ways, and so for and forth, for little girl no more, now, all the games were just that, only games, and none of them hers. You see, Daddy's little girl could not throw away the chessboard fast enough to realize that she has thrown herself into her mother love, waiting no more, empty. Now, no more harm from the truth, now surfacing as beads of sweat coming out of control from Daddy's brow, from Daddy's eyes, her Daddy's demise uncoiling faster than the power over her fears could rear, coming clear to where his safety lies, clear to the breaking point that broke the buried alive prisoner out of Daddy's sweet built cage, the cage in which he kept her love locked. What was in her then, now out for good, to be free. Free her pain's work, free her anger's work, free her hate's work, free her soul's work, free her trials, free her laughter, free her love. Free to be a survivor of stolen innocence, to the new old first of its kind time innocence, and here breathe free to fall in love and find out for herself about hurt there, about harm here, except this time and any next time that may follow the work of love. There will be the lesson of her very own lessons, the pain lessening here and lessons here, based upon her own free choices now. Daddy's Little Candy Secret.
Damn. Thank you so much for sharing that. Was that the first? Was that the final draft?
Don't know. This one says 7. There's another one that says 2 that I usually read off of. The date on this one is 1/11/01. That's the draft date. It goes back to 9/23/96 was the original.
It's before I was born.
So if you guys
It's
want
your
to pay attention to the screen here real quick, there's a poll that I'm taking real quick. It's just on a scale of 1 to 10, how dope is Elemental? If you all could
There were
submit your
two
votes.
choices. Both of them were 10. You're right, but you're also like you have potential to be a dictator, though.
Oh!
Hey,
You know,
CC, I just wanted to remark on this, what I've, known as this kind of classic chronicler's voice and tone you use, and how you build these swells into the poem.
I
It's
think that
kind
stems from the way he plays the piano.
yeah.
no,
Where
the
it
It's
builds
piano's
into
very
new.
these crescendos
mesmerizing.
and these,
The
these
piano's
lyrical
new.
swells, It's,
Yeah, the piano is
Mesmerizing.
relatively new. But yes, thank you for all of it, though. Yeah,
You
this was written in
like
1996. That was a fucking long time ago. That's like 30 years almost. That's mind blowing. I know when I wrote it. I could see
your,
that's like
your
yesterday.
your tenor phrase is impeccable. Like, there are certain things that you say that appear like as if they are gliding on the surface, but they are not. They are actually touching the core and mental beneath, and need somebody to touch the core and mental beneath and then come back to the surface and understand the rest as they're driving down and gliding towards the end of your poem. That is so beautiful and
Says
amazing.
the beautiful artist of storytelling.
Mm.
Thank you. I mean, I got lucky with it. When I do that, I don't have craft. I have honesty. That's what I go with. Honesty, and there's somebody bleeding, and I see all the blood, and I could write that down without lying, even if they can't. Because when you listen to thousands of women poets over and over and over again, you hear that subtext. So I wrote the subtext out. That's where that came from. So women should read their pain out, and another poet, whoever they are, if it gets transcribed, born of their voice, born of that silence, born of that locked away pain, then that's community. That's what we do.
That's what we do. And thank you for being a paragon of that, of what we do and what we should do and how we should be as poets. Thank you
Well,
so much.
what happened here, and what Marianne read, and what Escape Artist read, and what CP did live after that, seeing that woman and that witnessing, and there was no way he wasn't going to bleed it. There's no way. And so I went to my filing cabinet and I just pulled it open and started digging because I knew it was there. And so you guys made that come out of dust it off. You brought it out and dusted it off. I just read it.
Ah, yes, the vessel for the spoken word. That's where the power comes from.
Definitely. All right, we're gonna move on to our next artist. But first off, I just want to tune you guys in. It turns out that on a scale of 1 to 10, Elemental is a 10 with how dope he is. I mean, he's the dopest. I mean, all right, Jackson, who we got next on the list?
Next up, on deck we have Dre, but next up we have Joski C. Let's hear it.
Joski.
Hey, can you hear this? Coming through? Good, good. Okay, wonderful. I'm happy to be here. I was really blown away by Elemental and everyone. This is a short poem I wrote for Elemental. This is called As Poets Burn Bright. Elemental gathers light, a trick he learned from the moon. As poets burn bright, reflections illuminate the night. And another short poem, this is called Abuela, and this has to do with authorities in Texas harassing Latina voting rights advocates, Abuela. La Abuela stands in front of her home. Ella tiene 87, embarrassed in her nightgown, angry as the Texas sun, surrounded by policia working for Republicans. She feels their racism, smells their corruption. For hours she stands, as piece by piece they dismantle her security. After 87 years, angry as the Texas sun, police search La Abuela's home for democracy. So I've been moved by people all night long here. But it's kind of a weird picture on my thing. Oh, okay, that's what it is. And Sophia did a poem that moved me really deeply, and Escape Artist was hitting some of the same themes in Zomconto and Cici. So I'm pulling this out of a file as well. This is something I wrote a while back. This is called Sad House. When a man beats his spouse in a sad house, control is what it's all about in a sad house. Well, the most important thing is to get away to somewhere safe. This violence won't end. Take a chance, my friend. Start again. A safe new beginning. Talking to the man now. Is it true you two were bruised in a sad house? He beat your mama and your siblings too. What a sad house. There's a sickness inside you, and it's time to change. Become sane. This violence you do, it's no good to lie. We see through you, and it's so wrong to ever hurt a woman. When a man, when someone beats their spouse in a sad house, control is what it's all about in a sad house. Well, the most important thing is to get away to somewhere safe. This violence you do, it's no good to lie. We see through you, and it's so wrong to ever hurt a woman. In a sad house, what a madhouse. In an angry house, what a sad house. In a madhouse, what an angry house. In a sad house, in a sad house.
Josie, you can ask my mama sitting right there in the room with us. You could ask her. That was the first half of my life, and then we got a really cool stepdad. But that was, you nailed it, man. Like, I felt that. Like, you can ask my mama. She right there.
The other day we had a whole free show from Joski, man. Like a whole free concert. Like, I was sitting back and I'm like, oh my, people pay for this kind of free concert.
Right.
It was all free, all soulful, all given out of the depth of his heart. Like Joski has always been that person that doesn't shy away from not just being soulful, but also being confrontational to the powers that be. And I am always enamored in musicians that do that, and also musicians that are also poets. So one love to you, Joski.
Yeah, I would have to say some of your fury was right on the top in parts of this song. It felt like a healthy thing to feel. And yeah, just I'm kind of awestruck by your ability to make this, create this mood that is permeated with, it's just so dystopic. And that was really loaded on your voice this time, and juxtaposing that with this guitar that almost seems unperturbed by the content. And it makes
And Paul, with that said, it almost makes me, as someone who went through that exact situation, almost comforted by it, healed
right.
by it with
Go.
those layers on it, right? Like, yeah, the guitar, like you were saying, exactly what you were saying, almost made it a little more easier for me to swallow that trauma that I went through. Because he did put it on this, like, very ethereal kind of, almost like it was a dream. Like, it doesn't matter anymore, like, it's over with now. But here's what happened,
Yeah.
It was very
one
healing,
thing-
very healing.
It's so important to write about and to make our art and make our voices heard about this. But it would be a terrible thing if we wrote beautiful poetry and then the poet did not survive. And so I just want to remind people, keep your eyes open. This is all around us. It's hidden in plain sight. And to those who are victims, I just add my voice to those encouraging you to leave, find somewhere safe place to go, get the hell out, because it's probably not going to change.
Yeah, it's just oh, go ahead, Thomas.
As someone who has dealt with domestic violence on multiple levels, anytime you have the strength and find it to do what needs to be done, you should.
Yes.
It's not always easy to find that,
And it could be as simple as just speaking up.
right, mentioning something to someone, even if it's in passing, even if it is an innuendo, right? It can make a difference. Joski, I just really love how committed you are to your style, because I've never heard it before, right? A lot of times you hear artists and they, you sound a lot like, you remind me of, like, there's no one else that reminds me of Joski. And I really, really do appreciate you for being so diligent in carving out your own style and your own voice, because it really is locked in, man. I appreciate you, Joski.
Well, thank you so much. That really means so much to me.
Yeah, one of these days I got to get myself in this piano that I never used, this key thing, over to you, and because it can drone away and do all this amazing background stuff, and since
Yeah,
you're
so we're starting a new music show too with the two of y'all. Need to come
minimalist.
in on it and see what we're doing with it. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna link up some piano from CC and some Joski and some lyrics from Elemental. It's gonna be amazing. But we're gonna keep this show rolling because the recording's almost over. We'll go to after hours and jam out later. So let's finish up here real quick. Coming up next, we have, I believe, new to the open minds, open mic scene. You were on the live stream the other day with Whisper, I think, and I, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we have a little tradition here. I would like everyone to unmute themselves and give a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to John Michael.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Woo, welcome aboard. Join the family.
Thank you. Thank you.
Found it.
I have a piece that's fairly new. It's called Escape. To be bound and gagged, battered and beaten, dragged for miles by your own thoughts of denial. This abuse of physical and mental delivered by the hands and words of your hidden sadistic trial. It's my fault, really, I seem to think. For I seen the blast of that red flag cannon and smelled cotton candy, dank sugar, and watched your blistering fireworks that brought me so high, I never thought about the landing. Instead of the warning, I saw the carnival luring, taunting, bringing me in with that sweet taste of excitement. How could I not enter through the doors of the house that would soon be so frightening? You had my dopamine flowing, my heart was slowing, only to skip a beat. The moment I got lost in those eyes and all your lies, the moment our lips touched and my blood rushed and I was all yours for the taking. A love only to be mistaken, misleading, guided by your own gaslit land that would lead me down the darkest corridor of moments in this existence. You were my drug, and who was I to resist it? An addict to your sweet, blissful, manipulative, sadistic poison. And I knowingly, wantingly pumped it through my veins, wanting that rush, that lust, that blissful blush. Instead, that was the hook with barbs of rust that pierced my skin and railed me in with passion so exciting and full of sin, only to be punished and tortured within, twisting and bending my mind. I was lost and inner light went dim, made to be who I not was, and myself I couldn't find, trapped with no way out, full of doubt, till that one day when something inside you just breaks. And just then, no more can you take. You leave, you don't look back. No matter how hard you're attacked, you go silent and start to spin. And there for a while, their torture wins. Can't move, can't breathe. People give up on you and leave. Or you leave them because what you've seen in the mirror, how can you face anyone so much clearer? And how could anyone even understand? Some of us don't make it, stake their claim in the darkness and take it. No way out. So at last we're at our end, presented with a choice to surrender or live again. I choose life. John Michael, thank you.
Thank you and welcome. That was
welcome, man.
Yeah,
that was wonderful.
You know, the power of this family, this medium. Last night, Elemen2al, the cipher, and I forget who it was that said, you know, what about our voices type thing. It was a thing Paul brought into it. It was like, it was just an emotional thing, and it was just like it needed to be said. The context was diluted with the pain and the suffering, and that led into today, and then that led into a comment, and that led into a series of poems and a song. And this is when this is a beautiful thing that can happen. It's so fucking humanizing in what otherwise is so fucking inhumanizing world around us, that we are so gifted. We are so gifted to allow people to step out of their pain because someone else said they saw them when they didn't even have the courage to see themselves. And then from that, they healed themselves, and then they healed others and healed others. The work we do is so fucking important.
It is. And speaking
I
of the
love
work
you
we
all.
do, John, do you have another piece that you would like to share with us tonight, brother?
Yeah, I could do one more.
We'd
Let's
appreciate it.
see. There was one I found earlier that I wanted to actually read to you after we hung out the other night. And then Whisper and I stayed on there with your sister there
Yeah, I
for till.
realized I had to do a show on a different platform. So I did.
Let's see. If I can find this. Work. Oh no. I'll just undo this one here. This is actually part of a bigger poem, but I wrote this part of it first, and I just love it the way it is. It's not often you find a soul that feels like home where the weather is always perfect. Not another part of you to reflect the dark and light. Someone who maybe just might see you for who you are, a shining star. Not from this galaxy, but far off in a different dimension. The same vibe and flow where 1 second everything is real fast and then crawls to a slow. But did I mention how much I love thee unconditionally? Without a hidden agenda? For see, our souls and minds are similar. Your presence, even more familiar. As if we've been connected, etched into the fabric of eternity. Two souls just looking for comfort in the midst of all the suffering. See, I love you for you, wild and free, a lot like me. One soul split in two, but magnetically stick like glue. Who knew we would find each other again? A journey to begin and relive. A chance to just hold on and breathe and feel each other's energy. Just in one moment by each other's side, we can confide and be set free. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know what you mean to me. You plus me equals family. Sincerely, John Michael.
Wow. Everybody unmute yourselves and welcome once more, John Michael.
Thank you, everybody.
You plus me
Thank you,
equals
John.
family.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, John.
I really love that last line. Right,
Yeah,
it's such a
you plus me
beautiful
equals
minimalist
family.
of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, right. Like it's just
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so profound in its minimalist approach. Right, it really does speak volumes. So I appreciate
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the what you're doing is the kind of conversation that you're having. And that's one of as you prove, one of the best ways to just keep revealing more and more things about the situation. They become this chain of realizations that really propel this poem.
I find that I do my best. Like I can't force my writing. Like I have to, it just has to either spill out. I mean, I can do like a prompt piece if you give me a time limit and I can present something to you, but my best work comes to me like I almost have to do
And
art for
one
a
stream
while
of
until
conscience, just a flow,
exactly.
yeah, like a freestyle, just
Exactly. Like I gotta start throwing paint at a canvas for a minute and just get myself into that place, and then I could just sit down. It just all spills out. And usually when I do, it's like a one piece writing where you don't even go back and touch it at all.
Well,
It's just
keep coming back every Friday and sharing more and more of your poetry. You'll be able to splash
I
paint all over
appreciate
these
it.
canvases. Speaking
I've
about,
always considered myself a painter of words more than a poet. I love that. That's so
yeah,
Elemental touched on it too. Come
wet
on, you're
paint,
good.
wet paint. I love it.
It's the flow state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. All right, speaking of flow states, man, I seen this man go into many flow states. Is none other than your host tonight, Dre Reyes. I'm gonna do a little promo piece here. I'm still working on it, but on the microphone next, we have the talented masters of the 90s references. He's ready to bless us with over 34 profound sentences per minute. Open your minds and clear your ears. Be ready to hear the explosive, non-corrosive, exceeding the recommended daily dosage. None other than host of the Saturday Slam Jam at home with the Open Minds fam. God damn, I'm messing this one up. Please unmute your mics and give all the love you have for Dre Reyes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I cannot spit 34 sentences in 1
34
minute.
profound sentences a minute. Yeah, I've heard you before.
Let
They're
alone profound.
layered, man.
Yo, point me to that psilocybin you've been taking, bro. I need to hear what the fuck you're hearing because that must be some like interdimensional shit. Holy shit. Well, anyway, hey everybody, it's been one hell of a night. Oh my god, it's been great to be able to share space with y'all tonight. And with that said, I have just one poem for y'all. It's somewhat lengthy, but let's see if I power it enough through enough and I could throw another piece in there. Hype on. Life is like professional wrestling. You may start off with a quick shine, but life has a way of cutting you off, pouring the heat on you while you try to fire back up, constantly in a seesaw battle of spiritual momentum. Life is the greatest act of improv we know. I put on an act everywhere I go. After 12 years of wrestling in front of crowds, I've become an expert at working the crowd. My happy disposition is a false advertisement. I may look like I am made of oak, but inside I'm a swamp shrouded by weeping willows. With every breath I take, I exhale an apocalypse. I may look like someone who may have all their shit together, but heaven knows I am miserable now. If I had a dime for every time I put my heart on the line and come up empty-handed, I would have a whole bunch of dimes, enough dimes to furnish a mansion with. When it comes to falling short, I stand tall, dwarfing giants. Put me on a textbook and a whole new generation can learn how to prevent themselves from making the same mistakes that made me the clown prince of childhood and adulthood through mass distribution to every elementary school. Let me teach you how to bleed. Isn't that noble, America? Do I have your attention now? I'm surprised my wallet hasn't pulled out a Glock on me and turned off the safety lock or bitch slapped me smart to stop me from making any more mistakes because I cannot afford to make any more. There's so much more life that hasn't been experienced yet, so many chapters to be written, so many memories to be had. Therefore, I am compelled to endure the gauntlet to see what kind of mutation I become. If you are looking to get some advice from me, please don't. Unless you're into spiritual sadism. Don't worry. I don't kink shame. I can relate. On second thought, maybe I can teach y'all a thing or two on how it's like to shut off your emotions after self-inflicted wounds to the spirit, what to do when your heart has been through enough malice that makes you emotionally calloused, and most importantly, what to do and what not to do when coping with unrequited feelings and how to properly dispose them. You will learn a lot from me. Maybe so much I could be professor with a PhD in emotional catastrophe. I can tour the world and give TED Talks, getting rave reviews from audiences worldwide, establish enough income to seclude myself from society in record time as if I was having a Kickstarter for loneliness. That's the spirit. Let's exploit pain as a profit, just like professional wrestling. Anyways, if this money-making scheme works, I don't want to spend 10 years working in a nonprofit job to erase my student loan debt. I just gotta figure out a way to relay my hurt into healing and make it rain from a world of pain. Call me Rainmaker of Wisdom. I have laughed so hard in the face of adversity, I puked my brains out in like a college jock boy college jock fuckboy who couldn't handle their drink. I have done the gritty through the baptism of fire and did the worm with floors covered in the shattered glass of my broken dreams, loving every millisecond of the pain because it reminds me if I can bleed, I can feel. And if I can feel, I can heal. I have spat in the face of God while punching Satan in his stupid face and kicking Wolfman in the nards. I didn't go through the limbo line to Hell's Gate for fun. I came for the experience. To remind me to no good, I gotta go through a whole lot of bad, thinking that at the end, I would be gracious for the brief commercial breaks from life's dull programming that I wish I could simply unsubscribe from. All this pain and trauma clearly affected more than my memory. Perhaps the ability to read vibes because I'm illiterate as fuck and I can't afford a higher education. Perhaps the ability to feel pain and mistaking it for pleasure. I have a Timex mindset that goes harder than a diamond mine. It's the only way I know how to survive. Under any means necessary, power to the people and power to the feeble. Somehow, some way, I'll overcome whatever pain that comes my way. I guess the point of all of this is to simply convey that this is not a cry for help. I don't want any pity, only harsh reality I need to embrace in the fashion of a mother towards a newborn. In conclusion, life is the strangest story we'll ever know. I'm not okay, but I'm trying. And lastly, I'm sorry. Home. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe not 34 sentences per minute, but 34 references or 34, like, I don't know, you was hitting 2 a minute for sure on that one. Everybody, do me a big favor. Before we hear this next short piece from Dre, I want you guys to unmute yourselves. Give it up for Dre for that poem and for hosting tonight and making tonight happen. Thank you, Dre.
That was
Dre.
amazing.
There's
It was amazing. I love that.
there's one thing that you did, Dre. Like, I think that you are one of the people that truly honored Megas. When that whole transition happened, you did not even, you were so calm about it, even when you were going
Yo, he
through.
was my soldier in the background, like straight up. He came through and held the fort down for us. And like,
And
that's why,
that,
like, I want to give all the kudos I have to Dre for that. Like,
and
fucking,
I feel like you are possessed by the spirit of the Megas.
Yeah, man.
he's definitely helping you out, I'm sure, looking over you, pushing you forward, and keeping you doing what you're doing. And we just appreciate it. And we want to hear that other short piece you mentioned. You said you might have time for it. So, Trey, if you could bless
You know
us
what?
with another piece.
All right, just give me a quick little water break because that was like a
Yeah, that
ball
was
of
pretty
energy.
intense. Yeah, that was.
Sure.
Can I
I'll
just
here,
say,
right here.
if
I feel like, oh, I'm sorry, Joski. Go, Joski.
just if I can feel, I can heal.
Yeah.
Isn't that hopeful?
That
That
is.
that just feels good to me.
All right.
Spiritual sadist. That really struck
Yeah,
me.
spiritual sadist too. Like, what?
You know, where
Oh,
there's just so many of them, right? It's you have to live through life looking over your shoulder for that.
I dig what
You gotta, yeah, you gotta live.
I dig what you do, Dre, because you know you do approach what we do the way you approach the square circle, right? And I can see it, right? And the folks who are not necessarily fans of that art form may not get it, but I can see your moves in your work, right? I can see the turnbuckles. I can see the bouncing off of the ropes, right? I can see those, you know, off of the top rope type, you know, literary devices that you use in your work, man. And I'm telling you, that texture definitely comes through. So
and yo, after the body slam too, he always leaves that room for the applause. and then too, like he'll throw
And then
like
you
like
step
he'll
up.
body slam a line, and then he'll give you a line where everyone's like, so like he like walks you through the experience of like
Hold
a.
up,
Remind me
hold up.
of a fucking, like the Stone Cold, like, yeah, can I get a hell yeah? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
right. Like,
kind of situation.
yeah,
And
he does for real. And
I
literary
really love
devices
that
though.
enthusiasm that you put into your work, always.
I was a wrestler for 1 year on a junior varsity high school team, and I was coerced into wrestling the weight class above what I weighed. And I had to wrestle 18-year-old guys who weighed 15 pounds more than
So you're
me.
saying you were a bait dog?
The fuck?
They
So
basically threw
the
you
point I
out
want
as
to
bait
make,
for them to practice on. So you
the
were
point
basically.
the point I want to make is I know what it's like to have your very personal struggle on a grand public display.
Oof.
That was deep.
Word. Wow. God damn. How to follow up after that? I got something to follow up with. Speaking of channeling the Magus, this is one that was definitely inspired by the Magus. The Monday after his passing. This is called We're Junkie. My name is Andres Reyes, and I am an addict. I'm addicted to the feeling of pen on paper, juicy words that the page will savor, creating poetry that influences radical behavior. When it's a passion, it's never a labor. So let's take artistic expression straight, no chaser, and scream the eternal cries resting within Mother Nature. May our poems be star-destined prayers that become future lifesavers to the ones that may be our future engravers. I'm addicted to the community, the feeling of unrivaled unity, achieving spiritual immunity, not feeling like a minority, the wonderful souls and personalities where every day feels like a ceremony, a celebration of our humanity. I'm addicted to the energy of comfortably showing vulnerability, relaying hurts into healing creatively, and relaying that into a frequency from minds to throats to technology to the world around me, with the hope that maybe my words can provide a validity in someone's reality. I'm addicted to poetry. Can you feel me? My system refuses to make antibodies for the creative bug that embodies all of me. I'm addicted to poetry and the ability it gives me to be a little wild, a little crazy, testing language and pushing it to its boundaries just to see what it could be for shits and giggles and scientific theory. I'm addicted to poetry and the spiritual liberty it brings to me. I'm a word junkie whose only fix is poetry. Again, my name is Andres Reyes, and I am an addict, for there is no high in the worlds that compares to spoken word. Home.
What the fuck, bro? You been holding out. I haven't heard that. That shit was dope, son. Everybody unmute yourselves and give it up for the host for tonight, Dre Reyes.
Thank you, Dre.
It was such a great way to speak for all poets, you know?
Yeah, he really just said it for everybody, man.
You always bring it, yeah.
Right? Lot of mercy.
That's how you do it. You don't, like I tell Maze, you don't let your audience off the hook. You know what I mean? From the moment that you step in the ring, you put on the show until the announcer says, and the winner, Dre Reyes. Right?
Not only that, just your reliability, like your reliability as a poet, and also as a brother, as someone who keeps poetry moving. So that's something that is rare to find. So one love.
And Dre, I love you so much. You're my brother. You've been holding down these shows. You've been holding down open minds during this period, and we just We love you so much. And in fact, my whole family loves you. I don't know if my mom's gonna be too happy if I share this file, but she sent me a picture the other day, and it just lit my whole world up.
Oh,
Um,
I know which one you're talking about.
I gotta share. Yeah, here's an image inspired by Dre Reyes's. I don't know if you guys can see that on the flyer or how it
Yeah.
works on that, but I guess you gotta. Oh, it's what is that? A
Potential
J?
security issue.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. Well, I downloaded it from my Facebook and then tried to post
Went
it here, but
went into the chat.
Oh,
yeah.
basically, what
Anyways,
was it like?
here I can show,
It was
here.
crab.
I'll just pull it up. Yeah, I'll pull it up. It's Ma Dukes eating crab rangoon. She's like, yo, it's crab rangoon night in this motherfucker. Like, with her jamming out on the crab rangoon, and I was like, man, Dre, I love you, cause not only do you make my life happier, you're making my mom's life happier. Just eating some crab rangoons, like you made my mom's life happy, and for that, I truly thank you. So here we go. I'm just gonna share the screen real quick. There's mom's jamming on some crab
Oh my
rangoon.
god.
Just
Oh
so
my god.
happy. Loving the rangoon. What? Oh, with the sushi all day. Loving the rangoon. And that is why I love you so much, man. Because you make my mom smile too.
Everybody, just letting you know.
food? Is that what that
Everybody,
was?
like, that's what happiness looks like. In case you've never eaten crab rangoon, that was wonderfully depicted. Thank you, Thomas's mom, and thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the love. But
Dre gets the Slim Jim Award of the night.
So how do I? So how do I get in with them crab rangoons, man? I mean,
Bro, hit up your closest Chinese food restaurant and get on the crab rangoon. I judge a restaurant by how
in
good their
Canada.
crab rangoon is.
In
Yeah, in
Canada.
Canada we can get it too.
All right.
It's not as good as the some of the ones I've had, but they're still pretty good. I have some recipes too I could send you.
No, okay. No,
We some
no, no,
rangoon
no.
fans up in here.
I'm just trying to go and sit there. I don't want to cook it. I just want to go and sit there and be like, "Yo, crab rangoons. I had
Crab
this.
rangoon me.
Yeah,
Goon me.
crab rangoon me.
yeah,
I
goon me
had
up.
this. I had
Goon
this
it
from
up.
Make me a
poet
crab
friends of
rangoon.
mine.
Make me
You
a
know, I
crab
don't want.
rangoon.
Make me a
Just
crab
gobbling.
rangoon. Yeah, I don't want to be a goblin. I want to be a
Gobbling
crab
the trash.
rangoon.
Yeah, and I don't even want nobody to call the police, but I'll start some shit if somebody is not giving me my crab rangoon, you know?
Oh
Hashtag
no,
Goon
here come
Squad.
those crab rangoons.
Hashtag
Here come
Goon
those
Squad,
rangoons
yeah.
again.
Yeah. Hey, so check it out, man. Dre got some announcements for us. I don't know if you guys caught Heart of the Artist on Tuesday, but China Bloodmeyer was up in there crushing it. What a wonderful person. And in fact, I can get some coaching. Dre, what you got going for us tomorrow?
All right. I'm gonna be talking about some fun stuff tomorrow in this very Zoom room. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna have the Slam Jam. It's gonna be an open mic and a slam workshop. So if you got any slam pieces you want to just workshop and get some feedback on, tomorrow's the day to do that. And we got China Bloodmeyer, one of the heaviest hitters in the Pittsburgh scene, coming in, providing a 3-poem set and the best feedback that she can provide for all y'all who decided to participate in the slam workshop. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And speaking of things related to the Slam Jam, oh my goodness, if you weren't there last weekend, you missed out on an incredible double feature of Buddy Wakefield and this next poet here. And this next poet has been doing some big things this year. And he's just climbing the ladder. You know, and speaking of wrestling references, he's just climbing that ladder and he's like about to touch that brass ring, man. We're talking about one of our new co-hosts of Come As You Are. I love you. Just saying. Everybody give it up for Jackson Riley.
Yeah,
Come
Jackson. Tell us what's going on this coming up Thursday on the 12th. What we got
this
going
coming
on
up
with
Thursday. C. Santos and I, it was in the chat way earlier. We are hosting a workshop where people can come in. We give them a prompt. We do some free writing, and then as we go through the rest of that hour, 2 hours, however long we're spending there, right before New Year, we are we're giving feedback, and we're working on generating new poems and inspiring people to get new poems and build
So
each other up.
Elemental, be on the look for fresh paint coming your way. Like fresh, like right after that show, come bringing it to the New York, bringing you that fire, baby. Yeah.
I have 2 poems I'm going to share tonight. One's a poem, one's kind of a scene that I wrote. I consider myself up until like a year ago just a like fiction author. But anyone who knows me and knows my poetry knows that I really like internal rhyme schemes and really wielding rhyme as my main device. And after hearing Buddy go last week, I realized I don't have any poems that don't really rhyme at all. And so this first poem is a poem I wrote recently, just a short little micro poem, but it doesn't rhyme at all. It's about a past relationship and coming to grips with sometimes you mess things up and you have to take the responsibility for that, but sometimes you mess things up and there's no absolution there. You just have to move on. So this is telescoping. Brazilian waxing poetic, across the silver film behind my eyes, I revisit our time together, pawing breathlessly as grain by grain all of me seeped from your hourglass figure, hurling glass walls at brick bottles graffitied with Exodus 14:14. I wait impatiently for something to come unglued. Until the last drop, I do not recognize the back of my own hand. I say, not me, not I, for there is none like myself. Triumvirate, I am the objector, the objective, and the exception. Poem. The other thing I wanted to share is a scene that's written more as a screenplay, so I'm going to try to adapt it into something that I can that can be spoken and not just read. This is Interview with a Ghost. The stage lights turn on. The interviewer, charming. So I've got to ask, what is it like on the other side? Do you like it? Life after death, I mean. Or is it just same old, same old? The ghost says nothing. The interviewer, now tentative. Since your transition, have you discovered any cool new abilities? Like, can you possess objects, people, that kind of thing? The ghost says nothing. A bead of sweat streams down from the interviewer's hairline, crossing the bridge of his nose, smearing his meticulously applied makeup. The interviewer, now wounded. I thought there was a connection there between us, and you told me that you felt it too, without my even needing to bring it up. Did you actually like me at all, or was that a lie? The ghost says nothing. An air conditioning unit stirs from its reverie, humming a breathless tune. The interviewer, now curious. So, as a non-ghost myself, I've no real concept of the paranormal milieu aside from what I see in film. Can you see other ghosts or otherwise interact with them in any capacity? The ghost says nothing. A drop of musty water drips from the ceiling, shattering on the lip of a small plastic trash bin. The interviewer, now serious. Speaking of film, it's 2024, and I know we've come a long way, but I do feel I'd be compromising my journalistic integrity if I didn't bring up the still ever-present stigma surrounding all media supernatural. Do you personally feel that movies like Poltergeist and Ghostbusters unfairly give ghosts a bad rap and serve to perpetuate anti-supernatural stigma? The ghost says nothing. The interviewer, now agitated. Were you trying to spare my feelings when you denied me any closure? You had me very vulnerable, showing an intimate side of myself that very few get to see. Was it all just a ploy to get sex? Why bother telling me that you held strong feelings only to bail and then, ice me out? Was it something I said? I often worry I overwhelm people once I let my walls down. My goofy, charmingly self-effacing charisma is foregone, replaced with a persona that comes across as more needy, erratic, and overeager than anything else. Was it that? It has to be something I did, right? The ghost says nothing. The interviewer inflamed. Right? The ghost says nothing. The interviewer quavering. Right? An exit light briefly flickers, flashes, and returns to incandescent homeostasis. The interviewer dejected. Right. A wicker chair crackles and pops with the repositioning of its seated body. The interviewer now jocular. Asking for a friend, do all people become ghosts when they die? Or are you stuck here because of something you didn't get to resolve while you were still alive? Apologies if I'm stereotyping. The ghost says nothing. A cell phone buzzes harmonically to the tune of Nirvana's All Apologies, musty perspiration dancing across its sheer glossy screen. The interviewer now smug. As a student of science, I dabbled a bit in college. I was wondering, can you make yourself tangible, or does everything just pass through you? If the latter, is it a funny feeling? Also, if you're not colliding with anything in your environment, how do you not just fall through the floor? The ghost says nothing. The floorboards rasp under the uneven weight of two wicker chairs. The interviewer now hysterical. I cared about you. Shit, I still find myself caring. I care so much it hurts. And in return, you don't hold for me care enough to answer my calls? To let down your hair when I stand outside your window? 1355 North Bolo Boulevard, right? I got it off your VIN. Am I not deserving of a modicum of your respect? I could have given you the fucking world. I would have. You couldn't give me the time of day. I would have killed for you. I almost killed myself for you. I still may. I haven't quite decided yet. Is that what you want? A pound of flesh, a fucking blood tithe? My slit wrists would be on your hands. I hope you know that. I hope it torments you at night. I hope it torments you all day. I hope it screams in your ear, claws at your neck. I hope it bites your tongue. I hope it shatters your ribs, pummels your stomach. I hope it breaks your fucking jaw, burns your lips and singes your throat, hollows out your eyes, carves out your sternum, caves in your skull. I hope you walk the earth the rest of your days in misery, driven from the ground, a fugitive and a wanderer. I hope whoever finds you hurts you worse than you've hurt me, a fate I wouldn't wish on my nemesis, you, my love, in whom I am displeased, but whom I love so deeply, to whose memory I sing at night, to whose memory I pray at night, to whose memory I cry, to whose memory I sleep, to whose memory I come, to whose memory I breathe, I bleed, and I dream. I love you so much. I don't need you to love me back, but please, please, just answer. A word, a sound, a nod, please, anything. The floorboards are silent. The cell phone is silent. The wicker chair is silent. The exit light is silent. The drop of musty water is silent. The air conditioning unit is silent. The bead of sweat is silent. An interviewer sighs, resign. The interviewer now sardonic. If you could talk to any famous ghost from history, who would it be and why them? The stage lights remain on. Scene. Thank you.
God damn it. Everybody, please unmute and give it up for Jackson Riley for that.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Thank you, Jackson.
Just
Thank you,
amazing.
Jackson.
Oh, thank you for that. That was
Right, taking a
All
script.
that was amazing though.
Yeah, taking a script with like stage directions and everything and turning it into this like visceral visual poem. Like it was like we were watching the play on stage just through your voice.
Yes.
That was fucking amazing, man.
Yes, you really pulled it off.
I like that.
The interviewer was so believable.
I like that twist at the end. It's all sort of about what could be. You know, it's like who would you like to speak to? But the thing that kind of was intriguing me through the whole piece was you had these like B-roll images, right? The air conditioner turning on, the drip from the ceiling, the wicker chairs, the floorboards, and then there was a pileup of details at the end too. And those just kept intriguing me. I found those really interesting, and of course, they took a really acute eye and ear to come up with. And I like the whole passage close to the end that was a curse, where you were like cursing this person. That was really powerful. And another kind of twist in the plot line, I thought.
So Paul, would you come join us on Thursdays? Where the first show is September 12th, co-hosted by Jackson Riley. It's going to be a writing workshop. You hear what the man's got up? Would you come join us and maybe learn something from him and teach us something too? You down?
Yeah, if I have the time, I have to look at what's going on next week. I'll see if I can come. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah,
I'm
we would love to
flattered.
have you there. Yeah, we would love to have you there. Dre, yeah, if you want to close us out, again, Elemental, thank you so much for doing this feature. I wanted you for my birthday, but then Catalyst has scheduled me for my own birthday. So just so happens a new guy, Garland, shows up who incredible poetry, and it's his birthday. So I still got a birthday set from you, even though it wasn't my birthday. I think we all get to re-celebrate our birthday through Garland's birthday. Thank you all so much for being here. But check this out, Elemental. Like I told you with the music thing, you see my boy Mavi down there with the headphones and the microphone. He got a guitar next to him. After this recording, I want you and Joski and Cece and maybe a few, whoever wants to stay, just stick around for round two. We got some fun music things we're gonna be working on. Dre, if you want to close out the show for us, I'd appreciate it, brother.
Right on. With that said, check it out. Open Minds, Open Mic, after hours, after this recording. With that said, let me just give you a quick little rundown what we got going on in next week. Like I said, tomorrow in this very Zoom room, we got the Slam Jam. It's gonna be a dope time. It's gonna be fire with China Bloodmeyer. Don't be there. You may be there or be square is what I meant to say. If you don't want to be there, that's cool too. But we got other shows too. On Monday, we got Chaos Magic every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring an original, bring a cover, bring whatever you like. We'll appreciate whatever chaos and magic you bring in this very Zoom room. And every Tuesday, we have Party Artists interview show with Whisper Poet and Catalyst. Come tune in, chime in with some questions, interact, have a fun time. And next Friday, yeah, that's right. Next Friday in this very Zoom room, we got another edition of Open Minds, Open Mic. And our feature is going to be Zom Conto. So fuck yeah. Be here next Friday. Be here. We'll look for you. Anyway, with that said, that concludes another episode of Open Minds, Open Mic. It's been a pleasure to have you guys here. Every one of y'all. Everybody has ingredients to make this stew the richest stew we got in the open mind world. That said, until next time, please keep writing, please keep loving. Peace and love to y'all, and have a good night.